What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. What the hell? Clap for me, bitches. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the breakdown. Let's do another round of applause for me. I was dying to get a haircut today, but you know what? It still looks good. It still looks good. All right, go get a haircut today, probably. I'm not busy. Well, welcome to the breakdown. Episode 733, sponsored by Midnight. Title sponsor is Midnight. Title sponsor is Midnight. Midnight City, check that out. We'll have more on Midnight City. I've been checking out my AI agent. My AI agent is lazy as hell, man. Motherfucker keeps sleeping. Sleeping in the charging house, man. It's crazy. We'll talk about that also. Ada, one of these goddamn projects got taken for, I think it was 140. I think it's 140 million ADA. We'll talk more about that. I'll get the I'll make sure that the figures are right. Shout out to Polymarket. Polymarket is the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand and also the breakdown. That's right. That's right. Also, shout out to Cake Wallet, one of the most secure wallets, hot wallets in this industry. That's right. Vic and that entire team have been working on this for years now. Bull, bear, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you're going to use a hot wallet and you want a secure wallet, especially to go ahead and hold your Monero or Litecoin or Bitcoin or Zcash, then go get yourself a Cake Wallet. I might do like a giveaway to see how many people have downloaded Cake Wallet. Might give away some Monero, maybe Bitcoin. I don't know. Quad Network. Hopefully we get the guys on from the network to talk about the network and break down the network. We'll have Dr. K on maybe this week or next week. We'll see what happens. Crypto Politics AI. By the way, we are streaming everywhere other than Instagram, Facebook, which we're still working on. I don't know why we're still working on it. Especially in the last 4 to 5 days, I have 3 million, just 3 million impressions in the last 2 to 5 days being on Threads. Crazy. It's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. It's crazy over there, by the way. It is absolutely insane. What else? I was leading to TikTok said I have to be a good boy for the next 30 days. Now, I don't even understand what I said. Like, my whole thing is, I keep on asking them, what did I say? Like, what did I say? Where we have 500 concurring, on average, concurring viewers on TikTok. One of our biggest outlets. And I said, what did I say? What did I say? And they said, listen, man, you just got to sit out 30 days. You got to be on your best behavior. If you want to stream live, you got to go ahead and take your phone and point it towards yourself. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I wasn't on yesterday, and a lot of people are DMing me like, where you at? We want to see you. We want to see you. I'm like, listen, I'm okay, man. We always once a month we take a break. We have to. By the way, obviously you can notice that I look a little bit darker now, and that's called going outside. That's called working out, training, working outside. Swimming at the beach kind of thing, going outside. That's what it is. Getting off of your phone and going outside. That's right. Working out outside. But what I can say is I haven't worked out for 4 to 5 days. I haven't worked out for 4 to 5 days. What does it feel like to be outside? It feels remarkable. Fantastic. Can't wait to get back. I actually can't wait to get back to working out. Can't wait to get back to working out. Anyway, let's talk about, got a lot to talk about, right? We got a lot to talk about. I have no idea at this point. So I have friends that reach out, the hardcore Republicans. They're like, yo, Dave, why do you keep on saying things about like Trump, about like, you know, he might have made the wrong decision by going into Iran. Hold on. Guys, I report news. I break news. I report on news. I break down news. This is my job. And I know there are other channels. I know there are other podcasters and media personalities that will, no matter what, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, no matter what they do, you will find an excuse for them. And I think that's what's the problem. The problem that we have is that we try to find excuses, and instead of calling it as it is. Listen, there's nothing wrong with, do you call it criticizing? Is it negative? No, it's just pointing out like, hey, like from your personal point of view, just like, I don't feel this right now. I don't. Like, look, man, I want to get into crypto, but I'll stay on this for 2 minutes. We'll get back to the political shit, but I know it's all negotiations and it's a game. They're going back and forth. The Stray's open, the Stray's not. Vance goes out to Switzerland. You got the negotiators from Iran that come there and disrespect them, don't shake his hand. Though he did speak to them early on in the day, but they, with the cameras on, they walked in, they went straight to the Pakistani ambassador and told him that the negotiations are off because of what Trump tweeted. Now, that's what I'm reporting on, things like that. And that's fine. I just think that I think that I will stand on what I've said before. If you go into Iran, you take them out. You take out the entire regime, because this is what's going. If you think this is not going to be happening, even after the deal is signed, it will be happening. It will continue to happen. So if we're there already, just take out the regime. They're full of terrorists. And Israel is just, it's the wild card that it will not allow. Bibi will not allow for this peace deal to, even if they were to agree on something, he won't allow for it. So that's the situation in the Middle East. That is the situation. Markets tanked this morning. Absolutely fucking tanked. Crypto is tanking regardless. Like even when shit is. By the way, I said this. I'm waiting for SpaceX to go into like the 110, even $100 point to get some more, much bigger position. I knew this was going to happen. I was telling friends and family. I was like, they're like, how can you be so sure? And I'm like, how can I be so sure? This happens all the time. This happens literally all the time. It went up to what, 220, 250, some shit like that, and then retraced as expected. I'm not rooting against SpaceX. I'm being greedy and selfish that I'd like to get in at a good position that from 110 to 120. I know SpaceX is going to do phenomenal. Okay. Space and AI is the next chapter for humanity. And 100%, I'm not going to fade SpaceX. I will never fade Elon. Every single thing Elon touches, it fucking goes. So I can't do it. I can't fade him. But yes, like the people in the comments are saying, every IPO, this happens. Because you get people that, look, how many people in this company got shares of the company and now were able to exit? How many janitors? How many entry-level people got shares of the company and now it changes their lives? And that's perfect, beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You want to see that. You want to see them take profit. For some reason, everything was working. My monitor was working, and as soon as Landy came in, it stalled out. Now it's back. But now I know. I now know why my sets sometimes don't work. But yeah, it's going to be vital. SpaceX is going to be a vital company for when we talk about space and we talk about AI and data centers. And I'm in. Okay, I'm in. But waiting for a bit. I'm waiting patiently to get in at a much bigger position as a SpaceX. Anybody who fades SpaceX is an idiot. If you're not buying SpaceX because of Elon, because you don't like him, you're an idiot. And we'll touch on that also about Roe, this Democrat that comes out yesterday and says that Elon is responsible for the deaths of, 4.5 million kids, some shit like that. I'm telling you, man, people are brave on the internet to say crazy ass shit, man. People are absolutely brave to come onto the internet and say shit like that. That's crazy. So we'll touch on everything that's happening in Iran. Okay. Listen, it's how I feel. We need to take out that entire regime. I don't really give a fuck. That's what I'm standing on. We got to take out the regime. We just got to do that. We have to. Crypto looks like shit. It continues to look like shit, but it's opportunity. That's my whole thing. When I talk to people, when I have these conversations, right now, by the way, let me go ahead and link this up. Let me link this up real quick. We'll go to G Markets because that's where I ain't going anywhere else. Why would I go anywhere else but then to use my own product? That's right. You can go to gmarkets.io to get all your information on the markets. Every single week, we'll be adding in more features every single week. Let me put my ass in here because I want to see myself. There we go. Hi, my name is. Let's go to G Markets. All right, so $2.23 trillion total market cap. We are down almost 3%. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not blown away. Let's look at the market at a glance here. Fucking everything's red except rain. I don't even know what this shit is. Seriously speaking, I don't even know what this dog shit is. Respectfully. But everything else is pretty much down. You got Bitcoin down 3.2%. You got Ethereum down 4.5%. You got fucking Vitalik. He's firing 20%. What is he? Laid off 20% of the Ethereum Foundation staff over there. That's always positive. BNB at 3.3% negative. Solana down 5%. Oh my God, my nuts hurt. Hype is down 6.4%. What is in my fucking eye, man? Pause. XRP down 3.4%. Shit, everything's fucking down percents, bro. You got ADA that's down 4.8%. We got Monero's down 4.4%. What else is here? Everything's fucking down. Near Protocol down 6%. Sui almost down 2%. Litecoin has its summit out right now. They have their summit out there. They're down 6.5%. Look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin's at 62,603. Ugh. And if Bitcoin had the market, if Bitcoin had Ethereum's market cap, hey, I wish it actually did, man. Real quick, and then send it to 200,000. We see everybody who's so the sentiment right now, the conversation is 35% bullish, 65% bearish. Of course, because you got Peter Schiff here. He's all in, fucking just dancing on the grave of Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Bitcoin conversations happening. Let's see. Man, let's look at the performance. 24 hours, down negative 3%. 7 days down almost 5%. 30 days down almost, you can rounding them out, 20%. 1 year, 40%. Wow. Crypto is really performing like hot trash. That's right. Let's look at hype real quick. Shit, can't even look at hype real quick. Gotta go through here. Let's go ahead and look. Oh, look at this. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know. I've been looking at ADA as a buy, man. I've been looking at ADA for real as a buy. Where's ADA? ADA has fallen. Has really fallen. It has to be somewhere here. Where's Cardano? Don't tell me it's full. No, it couldn't have fallen that. Oh, there it goes. It's number 23. 15 cents, man. 15 cents ADA. I mean, ADA's all-time high is $3.09. All-time low, and I remember this. 1 cent, 2 cent, whatever. This is, I mean, you get in here and it goes back to all-time high, which, you know, I don't understand why it couldn't. And You're good. See, these are the plays that I'm talking about. Like, these are the plays. Let's go back to markets. This is what you should be looking at. Like, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum. Great. You should be looking at Solana. It's at $69, right? Do I get into Solana? Do I wait a little bit? You got things like, where is this? I mean, Stellar has gone up also, man. Monaro's at 316. Chainlink's at $7.62. If you think Chainlink is not going to move, you're crazy. Cardano, like I said already. I mean, these are the things I would build out. Hedera is going to move 100. Yo, I like Hedera, and I think it will move. You have Litecoins at $42. Sui's at 70 cents. Like, and I know a lot of people are down on Sui, but Sui is an easy play, man. I feel like it could pull like a Solana type move. I really do believe that. But you can get all this kind of all this information is free, by the way, and you can come here and you can see what's happening. And here we can look at essentially some of the top voices within the crypto space talking. And it happens to be right now we have Vitalik at number one here. Vitalik's at number one. You got who's this? Number two, Coin Market Cap, and then you got the Cardano Foundation at number three. And who's here? I'm probably not even here, but of course, why would I be on my own site? Why would I be on my own site? And then you have a bunch of people having a conversation an hour ago. Vitalik, this year, the EF is decreasing the budget by roughly 40%. Yeah, fuck this shit, man. I am so bearish on fucking Ethereum right now. It's crazy. They got no money. I mean, I spoke to Charles about this on a pop-up space. They got no money. They absolutely got no money. They got no money. This is bad. Ethereum will go up. Listen, what did this guy, he bought $90 million again? Tom Lee bought $90 million of Ethereum. Yo, this motherfucker. Tom Lee, you need to start buying Bitcoin or something, bro. Like, you need to stop. Ever since you started buying Ethereum, we've gone only down, down, down. Okay? Now, I don't know what the fuck is happening, man. Usually things go up. Let's bring Landy in here. Landy, good morning to you. What's going on, man?
Morning, David. Is Tom Lee going to CTO Ethereum? Yes or
Listen, I'm going to CTO Ethereum at this fucking point. This is terrible. You're lucky I wasn't on here yesterday. This is terrible. I'm looking at Ethereum. It's just gonorrhea.
Yeah, it doesn't look healthy.
No, it literally. This is. Listen, look. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm keeping 100. Ethereum is not my first choice to pick up right now, and a lot of I'm probably gonna get unfollowed by a lot of people by saying that, but that's not my first choice. Like, honestly, even with whatever happened today with some sort of hack that happened with Cardano, I'm 15 cent Cardano. I rather there a Sui or Hype or like build it out there first. Maybe because I've been buying Ethereum, right? So I don't see a reason to buy more. It's not like shit. I can't believe oh my god, this is gonna be horrific. Well, they're gonna clip this shit up and then they're gonna fucking unfollow me. But you know what? It is what it is. It's not like, if you see that kind of opportunity with Bitcoin, you go into, you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the thing. If Ethereum finds a bottom, it finds a bottom. The narrative really doesn't matter. If you're in it for price appreciation, it's a bear market. This is typical stuff. Is it a case by case basis? Is there nuance there? Absolutely. But I think that Ethereum's price action on longer term timeframes is going to start presenting, with Bitcoin eventually start to present a setup for a turnaround. And when it does, everyone, and it does re-enter we re-enter a bull market in this sector for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, nobody's going to care anymore. No one's going to nitpick. No one's going to talk about Michael Saylor on the way up other than to champion him again. No one's going to talk about, the narrative would shift as soon as price action shifts for Ethereum too. Look at what a great job they're doing. Good thing they realigned what the foundation's doing, and now they've got money again, right? Like, it's just the narrative's going to shift with the price action.
Yeah, but I don't know. You were there when I was like, I had a pop up space. I was just like laughing about what's happening with the LA Cabal, rebranding themselves. I see the sneaky shit that they're doing. They went away for a few months and they came back. Now we got a rally kind of thing to milk the space for whatever else, whatever it has left here.
Mhm.
And I was I wanted to talk about that, and then Charles came in, so
Yep.
I had to switch the conversation, and I think it was a good conversation about Cardano's ecosystem. But Ethereum doesn't have money, Landy. Like, they have to sell tokens in order to pay for shit. Like,
Well,
a
yeah.
lot of protocols don't have to do that, like, at all, in order
Well,
to.
I mean, I would argue that most protocols do have to do that. It's that there's the few examples out there that don't, are really drawing the comparison versus ETH, because ETH is the second highest market cap, right? So I think that it's
For
going to
now,
get that
for
scrutiny
now.
for now. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
going to
where
get that scrutiny.
this is going to get bad. Like, I'm not trying to FUD Ethereum. I'm just saying it's going to get bad. There
Well,
is
I
no.
mean, look,
I look at it and everybody says there's leadership. There is not. You know what? There isn't that person that is out there that you can relate with from the Ethereum Foundation. Respectfully,
I'm not an ETH guy, right? I'm a Bitcoin guy. So, I mean, this is it. So it's a little weird for me to be defending kind of ETH from this perspective, but the perspective is that sure, this is a narrative right now. Sure, they have to sell Ethereum to get anything moving for the foundation. Sure, there's a lot of problems. Sure, things need to be cleaned up. Sure, things seem directionless right now, but my point behind it is this is always the case in the bear market, and this is a bear market, and it has been a real slog for altcoins in general, Ethereum being atop of that list since last cycle's highs, right? Not
but
breaking out, not getting a bull run.
the old coins have not moved since
Yeah,
forever. Like,
I
it's not
know.
even. That's what we need to go ahead and have a conversation about. They haven't moved since 2021.
Yeah, I know. They didn't make any real significant new all-time highs. You had runners, but most of them were fairly new. OGs tend to bleed out and not they tend to go into this compression and sideways, long-term sideways price action, which is something that I floated, 2.5 years ago now when it came to altcoins. Um, just after the spot ETFs launched, that this isn't over time as we see distribution across these networks, we have so many tokens and coins and networks, and there's only so much. You're not going to get the all pumps. Now it's going to be chosen winners. And the traditional market liquidity is going to pick those winners on that side. And that doesn't mean that just because traditional markets are making a spot ETF for this particular coin or that particular coin doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to win, but they are going to be outsized winners versus the competition in this space. So we've got a bunch of coins that all do the same shit. Especially when you're looking at contract-based networks, they all do the same thing and advertise, "Oh, we're faster. Oh, we're more quantum resistant than the next guy. We're more private than the next guy." And realistically, those segments will eventually go away as everybody updates their networks to come in line with each other anyway. So realistically, it's about who's partnered with who and who gets the stock tokens and the RWAs and the stablecoin liquidity to go with it. That's really what's going to determine the next winners. Is Ethereum going to do that? Are they going to be able to pivot and take that narrative? Because that would boost the price action. But also then you have the fundamental problem that you pointed out. They've built a layer cake over there, and there's no volume on layer 1. It's all been rolled up to layer 2s, or rolling down to layer 1, right? So there's a fundamental problem too, and Vitalik has exposed this, and now they're at a crossroads. But I do believe when a macro low is found, and look, Ethereum's sitting right on macro low, it's sitting right on a macro low area of interest. Could it go lower down to $1,000 and under? Yeah, you don't want to see it under $1,000, but that means it's probably going to go significantly lower. But it's right in an area where, even if it did dip down and lose like 1370, which is one of the major lows from the turnaround from bear market back into bull market structure, which was short-lived because it only lasted until about March of 22 before it chopped sideways, retested this same area before heading to the highs and testing the highs again. If it loses it and it resolves to the downside, it's going to be very painful. But if whenever we do find a low in price action there, the narrative's going to completely shift. Is it going to be born upon fundamentals? I think that the wider market will determine if it keeps up next bull market. And I think that's the wider concern for many right now is, hey, we know it's a bear market. It's coming into areas of interest to the downside. Could it go lower? Absolutely. But if I get into this, are the fundamentals there to actually carry this on through the next bullish market shift? Is it actually going to do what it used to do and perform back to the upside the way that it used to? And we're in that time period where I think you bring up valid points and valid criticisms. And I think that many within the Ethereum ecosystems are bringing up valid criticisms because it's not about if price action goes back into a bull trend, because it will eventually. It's more about how sustainable is that, how much of the market can it capture with the new players and competition in this space.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, look, I'm disappointed in Ethereum right now. I'm disappointed in the way the foundation's being led. I wish there was a more front-facing CEO that would be out there talking with the way that CZ does, out there having conversations with the people, spaces, more podcasts, whatever it is. You don't have that. You don't have that. Now, if you want to say that Ethereum will do well in the institutional game, they will. And 100%, I believe that to be true, that Ethereum will do well when it comes to institutions building on top of it, because plenty have already came out and stated that they are building on top of Ethereum, or they're working with Ethereum. That's cool.
I mean, you could have EVM compatibility like you do on Hyperliquid, but it doesn't really mean much to the Ethereum network at the end of the day.
Because they're not, like Charles said, they're not getting anything out of it. Like if they were getting like 5% or 2% of the transactions or whatever it was.
It's like great open source tech. Like, oh, thanks. Great. We don't have to pay for this. We'll just build our own and it's compatible. Thank you.
But that was Charles's biggest problem, was that this was the issue. This was the issue with Ethereum.
Yeah.
That Ethereum, like, okay, you gave way to all these, layer 2s, all these EVM compatible fucking blockchains, but at the end of the day, you're not getting anything from them. Mm-hmm. What was this, a non-profit type of, you get where I'm going with it. This is bullshit. So,
well,
that's why I'm kind of like, look, I'm not shilling Cardano.
Should have stayed proof of work is all I got to say about Ethereum.
Well, yeah, 100%. I'm telling you, I really do believe they went to proof of stake due to the regulations in the United States of America. Otherwise, I don't think they go away from POW with the way that things are now. Like, I don't see them moving away from POW.
Yep.
I'm just saying that's just my thoughts were, okay, they went to POS just because of everything that was happening in the States. We haven't seen Ethereum do anything since being on proof of stake, right?
No, it's they kneecap themselves.
So now you have, here's proof of stake. You know, here's proof of stake. Look, I'm not panicking. I don't even look at the markets unless I want to buy. So I'm being serious. I just don't look at the crypto markets at this point unless I want to go ahead and do research. I got time, and then I want to buy the dip, which keeps on dipping. You know, the type of dip that keeps on dipping kind of thing is crazy. It seems like cryptos don't. I think we're back. I think the stock markets has turned positive. I don't know. I got to look. I think the stock market went positive. So started off in the negative, went positive. I really would like those SpaceX to really go down into the 110 area. Like I'm praying for $110 SpaceX, if not lower.
Yeah. Well, what we're seeing in the traditional markets right now is an internal rotation. So if you go and you look at Dow is got a nice wick to the downside. It's up in the green now. You've got SPY gap down, NASDAQ gap down in a big way, but bouncing off of a key area. And what we're also seeing at the same time, David, which I brought this up with my friends on the space you saw me in earlier today over there with Kate at the Wolf Crew, is that what we're seeing is something that many didn't expect, but is very much something to keep watching, and that is lower oil prices, but Dixie is going up. So the dollar is gaining strength while oil is going down. This is not typically the correlation. This is uncorrelated. Typically, we see that it's correlated. So typically, when oil is going up, we see the dollar gain strength, right?
Yeah.
But right now, we're seeing oil come down and the dollar gain strength. And that's primarily because we're seeing a risk off rotation in the near term this week. And that is a risk off from, semiconductors and stuff like that into dividend paying assets. We see that Dow's up and didn't gap down in the same manner that we saw SPY and NASDAQ. And we're also seeing treasuries get bought. So this is risk off mode. And if we continue to see the dollar continue to gain strength and oil remain lower, one of the things that we do need to pay attention to is what you don't want to see and what you do want to see. What you don't want to see is oil start to gain strength again back to the upside while the dollar is strong, because then that's not going to be good for risk in any markets, whether it's crypto or traditional markets. We'll see a dump off and probably a larger correction within traditional markets, very much like what we saw before the most recent correction down Q1 to Q2 this year. But if we see oil remain low and the dollar continue to gather strength and bonds continue to get bought, that's actually going to give Warsh some leeway to cut towards the end of the year. I don't think they do it anytime soon, but it would give him leeway with a strong dollar to actually provide for some of his agenda, which would be potentially a cut towards the end of the year or very early next year. So what you do want to see is lower oil, stronger Dixie. Yeah, it's probably not good for risk assets in the markets, but in terms of time of year coming into Q4, all that rotation that we're seeing. By the way, we're going to be ending the quarter here in the next week or two, right?
Yeah.
In the next week, we've got we've got 7 days before the end of the monthly, the quarterly, and the 6 months. So we're seeing a lot of rotation within the markets anyway. That's normal. But one of the things that we don't typically see is oil down, Dixie up. So if we continue to see that, that will give Warsh latitude to cut, because lower oil prices means CPI inflation's coming down, means that that'll work its way through core metrics that they measure, which would allow him the room to cut with a stronger dollar and also provide liquidity. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to offload the balance sheet, which is actually, this is the environment right here, right now, in which he would want to do some of that, like decrease the size of the balance sheet into the buying pressure that's coming into the bond markets, nice strong dollar. if that persists, I could see them cutting interest rates. And of course, that would be the preferable situation. What we don't want to see is strong dollar, strong oil, because that would lead to the markets not looking very good and the increased chance that we could see rate hikes in the future. So it is something to pay attention to as we are now in the summertime period, as we come through the summertime period into the fall.
Could this be made go away? That played in?
Well, I mean, sell in May and go away was absolutely accurate for Bitcoin, right? 82 and a half all the way down to a new low at 59. It was not the same kind of a setup for traditional markets. It's really, maybe if you sold in May, yeah, you're probably safe, coming into June time period. Um, so there's an argument on both sides of that. Mid-May, we saw the high in Bitcoin, and first to second of June, we saw the high in SPY. And now we're on lower low, lower high territory for SPY and NASDAQ, but it's not the same, not necessarily the same look that we've got in Dow. So it remains to be seen, in my opinion. So far, corrective. And you should never go away, by the way. For anybody out there that listens to sell in May and go away, that you can, even if you go away and have some fun, you should be paying attention to actually get into opportunity on the way down if things continue down.
I want to look at this real quick before we go back into crypto and talk about a few things. And we'll go talk about, obviously, we'll touch on everything that's happening in the Middle East. But Polymarket here has Trump says unfrozen Iranian funds will be controlled by the United States of America and used only to purchase U.S. goods.
I told Rob this yesterday, and he argued with me.
I mean, this is a good thing. Like, this is good.
Yep.
I will say it's a good thing. Obviously, I've been very vocal about releasing any sort of funds to them. But
Remember I said this last Friday too on this very show?
I would have to replay that because I didn't hear anything that was going on here.
Well,
you guys
true.
are screaming.
That's true. Yeah, we were.
Polymarket though has a 24% chance that the U.S. announces a new blockade on Iran. So, I mean, Polymarket has been on it, man. I have absolutely no problem. I have no problem with having their money being used to buy U.S. goods.
Yeah, so far we only know of, and we'll see in terms of purchase orders. But so far we only know of agricultural products. That those initially those funds will be directed towards, and it's not like a one shot. I believe this is going to be continuous unlocks essentially.
But
it is very
a
much
lot of people are
monitored
saying, like,
situation.
look, they didn't even sign a deal yet for in terms of the deal that has everything to do with the nuclear capabilities of, or
Well, no, the
not.
MOU is phased, and part of the MOU is that they don't essentially mess with any of the ships in the strait. We allow them to trade oil. They're unsanctioned funds, which are under, essentially most of the unsanctioned funds that they're referring to right now. We know that Besant managed to lock up while kinetic action was going on, and through the first part of the ceasefire through Qatar and China, as far as we know publicly. And they were able to trace a lot of extraneous funds. Once they sanction those, if they lift the sanctions and they use them to buy U.S. goods, then because something I was talking about with Rob is the people there having a little trouble with food right now and agricultural products. So, um, you know, so not really surprised to see the US say, nope, we're going to control these funds and redirect them towards our stuff. So you will use your funds. Thanks. So, I mean, in a sense, I think that that's actually a good thing, and it actually solves a major humanitarian issue that's going on for the Persian people
Yeah.
there. As it relates to other things, I don't think any funds should be directed directly to the IRGC infrastructure. If it's used for purchases and we see ships lining there and delivering stuff, then we have our confirmation that what is being said is true. But I said this to Rob yesterday, and it's an old adage: believe none of what you see and half of what you hear. So it's just an MOU. It's a memorandum of understanding. This is
That
not a deal.
honestly, like I get that, and let me take this off at this point. I totally understand that. My argument is not. Look, my argument is, and I've learned a lot of this through Threads. Let me tell you, Threads, boy,
Brutal, huh?
boy. I looked at the DMs. I didn't even know what a DM feature was on Threads. I had like fucking, I'm not even kidding, 200 DMs. And that's not even counting the ones that were hidden. Wild. There was a guy who wrote today, a guy running for Congress, Mark Davis.
Mm.
He said he would essentially paraphrase. You know what? Let me go to it. Let me get this right. Let me read this tweet out right. It's disgusting, by the way. Really fucking awful.
He wrote this on Threads or X?
Threads. Mark Davis for Congress. He writes, this is what he wrote. He wrote, where is it? Mark Davis for Congress. Okay, these are not my thoughts. This is me reporting on what Mark Davis, who's running for Congress, wrote on Threads, which was, I don't want to hear another bleeping word about the bleeping reflecting pool until Donald Trump is floating in it.
Oh, yeah. He put this on X as well 2 hours ago.
It's on X?
Yeah, it's on X as well.
Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah.
I put in Mark Davis.
It's Mark Davis for Congress on X. I don't know if this is an official account, but it's Mark Mad Dog Davis. He wrote on X, Mark Davis for Congress. I don't want to hear another fucking word about the fucking reflecting pool until Donald Trump is floating it. That's wild.
So this is
wild.
This is what I'm talking about here, right? There is no need.
Ridiculous.
Like, you don't have to like Trump. You don't have to like his policies. This goes for both sides, by the way. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, there's no need for political violence. Like this right here. I don't want to hear another bleeping word about the bleeping reflecting pool until Donald Trump is floating in it. That is disgusting. Like, that right there is nasty work. And then when Secret Service shows up to his house, right? He's going to be like, oh, what did I say wrong? It's freedom of... That's not freedom of speech. That's a call to action, right? Like, in my view, like that is literally... People say, what are you talking about, Dave? That's not a call. If you think about it, that is a call to action. And even though you see there's no engagement here, like 2 likes, go on Threads. It's like 16,000 likes. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? Therapy is needed. This is the guy that's going to represent Americans. He's going to go in, represent, like, so if he doesn't like somebody, he's going to say, hey. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 733. We are back. Okay? It is Tuesday, June 23rd. It is almost 1 p.m. We're 7 minutes away from 1 p.m. on this side, the best side, the east side. Like I said, again, you might notice that I'm a different color, but this is just my natural color. Relax, Landy.
Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and baby blue.
You might notice, the let me see my tan. Bro, I got burnt, bro.
Yeah, you did. You got cooked out there. Got cooked on
Oh
threads.
shit,
Got
I
cooked
really
outside.
I really look fucking I look like I'm Nat's brother. No, but that's what happens, man. That's what happens to me. I get burnt the first day of summer, but after that it's all brown. Like you will see as we move on with the show in the summertime. People will call me David Diaz or some shit instead of welcome. Anyway, yeah, so the I don't know. People have been asking me about the crypto market, and I just say, look, I'm buying things that will generate a revenue. Now, you guys might scratch your heads and think like, what the fuck is he talking about? What revenue? I'm looking for assets that go beyond the Web3 space. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Things that go beyond, that can pop out of the bubble and be used by companies, whatever it is. That's what I'm looking for. Real partnerships, not front-facing partnerships that can actually one day generate a revenue, because those are the ones that'll stay. I do believe. I said this years ago, around 18, 19. I said most of these cryptocurrencies won't exist. There will come a point where most of these altcoins won't exist. But the ones that build out, that develop real relationships, they'll be around. I think the meme economy will always exist, but man, did we take 19 steps backwards with the memes. I've been getting, people have been contacting me in the DMs, Landy. They're like, man, like you've been the biggest meme coin advocate ever, and now you're saying, yeah, I am saying it. You've destroyed everything I've loved. Okay? You've destroyed it. Look, you can't even send a meme past $5 million. You guys aren't willing to hold.
Yeah.
The fuck you want me to say?
Well, you know my opinion on meme coins.
I know your opinion on meme coin, but I will say this. Here's the bright spot for all you meme lovers. FOMO, the FOMO app, just got $75 million in a Series B round. That should tell you that there is interest. There is interest. And they could be coming back, Landy. Like the meme economy could be coming back because they know retail goes there. They know there's money to be made. I mean, FOMO, they're making money on every transaction. Same thing like Pump.fun. These platforms are going to be making a lot of money. They already make a lot of money. I'm sure investors want to invest. VCs want to be in that. You will see, like anything that is crypto related, and especially related in terms of anything that is pushed towards retail, will get a good investment. You'll see $10 million investments, 20, 30, maybe even 50. And let's wait until the bull run comes back. You'll see a lot more money poured in, because they know that's where people come to first. I'm talking about retail. I'm not talking about the retail that I'm talking about are the degens. I'm not talking about multi-million-dollar retail that just have woken up to crypto.
Well,
I'm talking about the degens.
They're going to get rinsed every time. And I think that a lot of participants that are here paying attention know that when Bitcoin does start to actually bottom and start to turn around and present a potential bull market setup, that memes will run with it, and they'll be likely running in tandem with it and outperforming. The fact of the matter is that's very short-lived, right? So the participants here, I hope, learned from the last cycle into
Take
this
profit.
bear market to take profit and rotate. Because if they didn't, they're gonna get wrecked again and again and again. And look, it's, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's a lot of insane people here. So
Yeah.
hopefully, they've come out the other side with a little bit of sanity, this time. You know, I got absolutely
I
torched
I don't-
when I was calling for the top, and when it actually happened, I was getting torched the entire time for saying, "Look, I called the top. You need to if you're in it now, these are just bounces. You can't trust the bounce on these." And I got ripped apart, like legitimate hate from people on X in particular. But the fact of the matter is, we've seen this before over and over and over again. It's just a different iteration of what we've seen before. And the market's going to evolve again in the next bull phase. So understand if you're not paying yourself on the way up, you're going to be you're going to be paying for it on the way down. I think you get into stuff that actually does present the chance to create revenue
the problem
in the
the
just
problem
coming
with
years.
the problem with so the memes, you can't, like, if you're in memes right now, and there are a lot of people that they haven't taken profits out of the memes. You're down what, 98%, hypothetically speaking. You might be down 98% on memes.
Sure.
Here we
Most
go.
are. The
This
the
fuck, I
problem
gotta tell you, man, I can't stand whatever's happening when I think Landy has done something where my monitors consistently go out now. Like, you know what? I don't know. I gotta call somebody, man. I can't be doing this every single fucking time, looking at a blank screen while I'm having a conversation. What I was saying though, Landy, is if you're down 98%, it makes no sense taking money out. Like, I do say take losses, right? But I say take losses on things that the community's not there anymore, right? Like, there is nothing there. So yeah, like, in my mind, you would take your profit out, right? Or not profit, you would take your losses and whatever's left, right? That's my thing.
I don't
But like,
for a
here's
lot of people
me.
there, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, it could go down another 99%, right? It could always go down more, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. You might as well, wait for bull structure in the overall crypto markets to present itself again, and then evaluate your underwater positions from there if you're already underwater. But this is not financial advice, and I'm not here to pull you out of your freaking bad positions.
No, but I'm saying that, like for instance, Pepe, right? If you're down like 80% on it, like there's no reason to take. I don't see like taking out of a Pepe makes no sense. Taking out of like some dog shit that you went into off a pump.fun, and went in with 50 G's, and now it's at, like I always say, you have like $5,000 left. That makes sense. Like, in my eyes, okay, there's no community here. Devs left. Nobody wants to see done. You got to make a decision and leave. But like a Pepe or Doge or Shiba Inu, they have the opportunity to make another run. Like that, especially if they're going to be investing into like applications like FOMO, and all these things are getting, millions of dollars. The memes will run. I just don't know. Honestly, I can't say when, but they will run.
I
You
think,
know.
yeah, it's about finding a bottom, which they have not found yet. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to you about Pepe between 1.2 and 1.85 billion as a total market cap. And then if it started to fall below 1.2 billion, you need to pay very close attention. It needs to be recovered quickly. Like it needs to be recovered within the next couple of weeks here, next 2 weeks or so. Because if it's not, you're probably looking at 680 to 800 million. You're probably looking at that, right? So
But again, there's no need to take out.
no,
Like
well,
at this
there's
point,
it no, because you don't you don't sell a loss. You build positions in a bear market, and most don't seem to understand that concept because they feel like the pain's never going to end. And then memes will go back into a bull market structure. My contention has been, and it remains, that many memes will fail to make new all-time highs in the future. That doesn't mean that they won't
All right, so
have
let me ask you a
magnificent
question.
runs off the
Are you
lows,
ready?
though.
Will
Yeah.
Dogecoin make a new all-time high?
No.
It'll never make a new all-time high ever
I
again.
don't see the setup for it making a new all-time high anytime soon.
Okay. Shiba Inu,
No.
Pepe.
It's got a better shot than the other two, but I'm still not of the opinion. See, here's the problem. You know that when it turns around in a bull market, there's gonna be a million new coins launched every freaking week, every month. The
But there
tools are only
has to
getting
be,
better for that.
but there has to be a point where we say,
I
okay,
think that
hold
Pepe's
on.
got a better shot than the other two at a new all-time high,
No, but here's
but
what
I'm
I'm
not counting on
saying.
it.
At some point, the community says, like, bro, we got to go back to. There has to be a. You know how, like, Landy, you know how old school jerseys are dope?
Mhm.
I feel like we have to have that retro meta that comes back, where it's like, yo, let's go into Pepe, let's go into Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, let's go into these things because they actually did hit these type of numbers. So if they can do half of these numbers, we'll be fine with them. Like, who would you rather go with? Would you rather go with some new shit that popped off of a launch pad, or would you rather go with something that has proven that it did numbers and they held there? Like, it's one of those, like, I want to get the retro jersey. Like, I think the new jerseys are nice, but I'd rather get the retros.
Yeah, well, I get it. Look, I think that Doge the only reason that Doge would have a shot at new all-time highs is because it's its own network, right? That if you
And
wanna
it's not
make a
going to be
case
because of
for that.
Elon. There's nothing that Elon can do.
Well, look, my point to you is that because it has a network, it has value beyond just being, the dog token, right?
Yeah.
Um, that's so that is a legitimate, and because of the macro structure, it's a big compression from 2021 until now, right? It's just a sideways big price range. So could it break out to the upside, make new all-time highs? I could give you that. All right. So,
Yeah.
but when you look at Shiba Inu, there's nothing there. And, they tried to build, they didn't do much. It's kind of gone nowhere. Pepe, I think because it didn't hit like this wildly, I mean, look, it hit a very high market cap. That when we're talking about what Pepe hit, it was an incredible run up
Yeah.
to $11.3 billion market cap. I think that
Do you
that's
think
actually
Pepe's
got
cooked?
more. Um, uh,
Honestly
no,
speaking.
no. Even if it goes down, you could see this thing go all the way down to like the 500 million mark, and I don't think it's cooked. I think that it still has, because it is, it can easily take over the liquidity narrative, because of how robust the liquidity is across various exchanges and on chain. That it has, I think it has a better shot at making a new all-time high, but I'm not counting on any of it making a new all-time high. My main reason why, and I've said this to you for a long time, um, that there's a lot that will never make new all-time highs again, is because the competition is only going to become more fierce in the space as technology improves and more platforms are coming out and new launches get exciting and everybody starts to ignore the older tokens, but also because the real competition
Landy, hold
is
on, hold
revenue
on.
generation. Hold on, because
But
this is
I don't.
important, because
Okay,
this is
go
part
ahead.
of my thesis, not yours. This is the revenue generation that you pointed to is coming on chain, right? When you have tokenized stocks that are actually deliverable, by the way, be very careful out there because a lot of it's not deliverable for the underlying shares. When you have tokenized assets on chain that are paying dividends, when you have stock tokens, and RWAs that can pay dividends, actually have balance sheets, actually have earnings, and actually have a very long history, now you're on the same playing field with all of these tokens that are more on the gambling side of things, further out on the risk curve, versus a lot of these things that you're going to see institutions provide a ton of liquidity towards. So the competition within the meme space is going to get more fierce. And then you have a new entrant to the space that is revenue generating, dividend paying stock tokens and RWAs that have long histories in traditional markets. So I think that it just makes it that much harder, because you've talked about this. There's millions of tokens out there. You spread the liquidity so thin that nothing can actually be concentrated into a Doge, a Shiba, a Pepe. So that's my point behind that. And that's that I've died on that hill when everybody was shooting at me when we were at the highs, and I said, "This is it. This is, you better cash out now."
Well, Bobo moved from Ethereum to Solana, and one of the reasons why Rec moved from Ethereum to Solana is because of fees. Because he was on the show and he said it, like he would have made like $5 million in fees if Ethereum had that option. Anywhere
Yep.
from $2 to $5 million
Yeah.
in fees. That would have helped, would have helped them with marketing, whatever it is that the project needs the money for. It would have helped buybacks, whatnot.
Yeah.
Move over to
Market
Solana, you get
making,
creator
whatever.
fees.
Yeah. Whatever it
Bottom
is.
line.
Yeah.
And the tokenomics are different. And a lot of people like tokenomics mean something now. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, you're laughing.
I'm laughing because because remember, look at how far we've come. And this is where it was, and the original reason why. Now we are talking. I'm talking post Doge, post Shiba Inu. The reason why memes became such a big deal was because it was a thumb in the eye of the regulators saying, no promise of returns, no utility. We're not a security, right? So screw you. We could do what we want, right? And over time, to survive, then it's like, okay, well, now we're actually gonna have a team. We're gonna have products, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. Because at the end of the day, if you want to have the long term sustainability, you can't just be the thumb in the eye, especially when the regulators start going, yeah, no, you're all good. Everybody do your thing, right? When here's the brakes are taken off, have fun. Well, now you have a changing environment where now the tokenomics do matter. Now token schedules matter, and I think that they're all bullshit at the end of the day anyway. But we're just modeling what we've seen in traditional markets and crypto markets, right? But now it's we got to have a product, we got to have a team, we got to have marketing. It becomes a business. And I think those who treat it like a business will do well if they can straighten out the tokenomics portion. If they are on a chain where it's generating revenue for their project, they can throw back into the project, they can buy and burn, they can create product, they can get out to the wider market to break free of just being on X and at the whim of the next coal that might pump their shit. So
I think this is
there's a
now.
few entrants there that I think could be successful.
Is this now? Have we reached the point where like people are going to have like either you have to take the next step in your career or your time here in crypto, which is learn how to trade. A lot of people don't know how to trade, so learn how to trade. I mean, holding isn't cool anymore, right, Landy? Like, unless it's a real asset, holding isn't cool, right? Think about it. People are flipping out of things every 24 to 72 hours. Like, you get into something.
Well, it's not the trend. The hodl mentality was always kind of a lie anyway to keep people trapped.
Yeah, but people used to hold.
Yeah, I mean, people used to hold, but they would hold because they're buying in the bear markets and hodling through to the bull market. And then
No, but I'm saying like throughout, there
heads.
used to be like this, like we're gonna make it. It used to be something different. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you held. I'm just saying in general, like there.
I mean, I did. I am a hodler. I still have ETH from when I was mining it back in freaking 13, 14, right? Like
that's that good ETH. We know what kind of ETH that is.
right? Like I still have hodl assets that I'm because they've appreciated so much in value. That's why you become a hodler. But you can't look at somebody that bought $100,000 Bitcoin and go, hodl, they don't get it because they're scared. So you have to go, look, you need to have a plan for accumulation so that you can become a hodler and realize that upside price action, whether or not you want to sell out to fiat or not. I personally wouldn't, because I think that Bitcoin and there's going to be other assets. I don't know what those are. I used to think that maybe ETH would be one of them, but I'm no longer of that mindset since moving to proof of stake. I told you this years ago. I got off that train when they moved to proof of stake. They weren't going to be the solver to Bitcoin's gold in terms of analogous. Once they moved proof of stake, it just isn't. It's not feasible.
All right, relax. Just because I'm very disappointed in Ethereum, don't take liberties here, bro.
That's not a liberty.
Yo,
That's
no,
not a liberty.
you're taking shots below the belt.
I'm not taking shots. I'm not. This is reality. The reality is that Tom Lee was the biggest bear market signal that you ever see for
Fuck,
ETH.
man. Fucking guy, man. Yo, Tom Lee, stop buying.
Look, Tom, just go and CTO Ethereum, turn it into an institutional chain, screw everybody else, just start printing stables like crazy and pairing stocks to it, and that thing will go to the moon.
I hold. I'm a holder. I am thankful. Like I would probably be underwater if I just came in.
Well,
I would. Tom Lee, man, what the fuck, bro? Chill. Just like, don't buy 1 week. Let us see what happens if you don't buy. And
look,
Landy's been, by the way, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Landy has been waiting for this moment. He has been waiting. He's been waiting to river dance on this.
no,
He has a huge smile on his face right now. I talked about, hey, Tom Lee.
I can't help it.
Good that he's buying. He did go ahead and make mention that Bitcoin's going over 100 grand in 2017 on CNBC. Landy was like, nah. I don't want to hear none of that.
Yo, Tom was just off. Tom was off just by, a couple of cycles.
So Landy is a certified hater. Okay. This man is he looks like a cute little puppet, but this dude is a certified hater. You're praying for this.
I was not praying for this.
You hurt a lot of people in Ethereum.
It hurt their feelings.
You got a bunch of people waiting online for welfare checks, bro. Like, you understand what's happening here right now?
Bro,
and by the way, you motherfuckers, look, before I forget about this, all you motherfuckers deserve this market, okay? And you deserve what you've done to the memes. You guys are rallying behind the Bando kid, the one that said, thanks for the 20 Bandos, bitches. You guys are rallying behind. I'm telling you, this is the most fucked up place. This is the most fucked up industry I've ever been in. Well, you know what? Society does root for the bad guys, right?
Here. We're all adults here. Don't worry about
He's
it.
not even an adult. He's still in 12th grade.
Oh, no. Of course, he's not an adult. I'm saying that it's all the people that are rallying behind him.
Y'all rally behind the bad guys. That I've learned something this cycle. You guys really do rally behind the bad guys. So let me make these points. LA Vape Cabal took your asses. Okay? The LA Vape Cabal put the vapes in your asses. Like, it is that's factual statements. They literally came out of nowhere, industry fucking plants. They came here and now they disappeared. They made money, right? They disappeared. They're back. And you guys are so desperate for a win. Here's the thing. You guys are so desperate for a win that you will take another chance on it. This is like somebody, I don't want to compare that. You know where I was going. I don't want to compare it to that.
What, Stockholm syndrome? That's
Yeah,
all it is.
you know,
It is.
it,
It
it
is.
really is.
Every
It's
single
that.
villain just remakes their image every cycle and comes back with more followers, more dumb people to screw over. That happens every single cycle. Like, look, they take advantage of the naive and they take advantage of the coattail riders that know that they're scamming and know that they're full of shit. But hey, we might as well ride this to the upside because I can get a little taste too. And that is what encapsulates the entire industry. And if you think it's unique to just meme coins, think about the early days of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and all of it, Litecoin, every single like look at all of it. It's all the same shit. And then it's funny because like BTC maxis, they literally exited on everybody's face and then went and went and started funds while still utilizing the BTC branding. Like, yeah, no, I'm a BTC max. They sold their Bitcoin a long ass time ago and they got rich in fiat land, bro. Like, what do you give me a break? And this is something that, you know, a lot of people don't even know how the original exchanges came to be and how
Yeah,
the
but Landy,
miners supported them on all sides for all
you know
these
what?
different networks. Like no one
CTMZ
knows the
mentioned
history. They
CTMZ
just pretend to
mentioned
know the
just now
history.
in the comments capitalism. Capitalism still exists in crypto. I've always stated that. Capitalism, just because we're in a decentralized space, doesn't mean that capitalism is dead. But
It's 99% vaporware over here, though.
no, but this is like I'm gonna make a comparison. I think that we'll all get this. This is like what y'all do. Hold on, I'm laughing. You know that. Hold on, Landy.
I'm reading the comments too. So this is funny. Yeah.
This is like you guys. You guys experienced Bertie Madoff, right? And then the
Now he's our
motherfucker comes out
Cole.
of prison and says, "Look, I got a new thing," and you're like, "Yeah."
People are begging for SPF to come back. They're like, come back.
Yo, I'm telling you, if SBF got a fucking pardon, that's
He
why
could
I
launch
built
a
the FTT.
multi-billion-dollar token. He could launch
No,
something and people would
he
go
never
for it.
gotta launch shit. FTT.
Well, maybe, but he'd probably relaunch.
As soon as the pardon talk started, do you know what I did? I looked at G markets, right? FTT started moving. And I was like, this is our space. This is, if somebody makes a mistake like Michael Vick did, right? I can name so many people that made
A
mistakes.
mistake. Yeah, it's a little mistake.
It
There.
sucks. It sucks. Vic was like one of my favorite players. It sucks what happened. Like that's a horrible situation that happened.
Well,
But like,
of his own doing.
of
Yeah.
course,
Same with SPF. Uh-huh.
I think he's tried everything. Forget about these people. I think people who have tried, there are people that have come back out and they've tried everything, like to make it right. You know what I'm talking about, and you want to give them that shot, right? These people,
Me?
this is coordinated shit, bro. This is like, yo, we're gonna go away for a few, and then we'll come back. And you guys, this is the same thing like Bernie Madoff. Like it's just like, oh shit, Bernie Madoff's back.
Yo, the space would go wild. The space would go wild.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
he's back finally. We can all exit.
and you know what? I always kind of like the bad guy in movies because I think the villain is cool at times. Like the Joker's cool.
Our villain was eating cucumbers.
These villains that we got here, they're not cool.
The villains here said that they were gonna get the Vegas sphere on lock, and then then didn't do it. Like we have real low tier villains here. David, you need to become a villain. That's it. You wear a suit. You're a good looking dude. You need to become the villain. Please.
Everybody's wearing suits now. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Oh yeah. Unc says remember his girlfriend. Yeah, Caroline. Yeah. Wait, Is she back or is she
Nobody
still
was
doing
wearing
OnlyFans?
suits. Okay? Nobody.
Our villains suck. Yeah, our villains really do suck.
Like,
We need better villains.
like what villains? Like the villains we have are like, these are like fucking, they make appearances on like Law and Order SVU just walking by.
Our villains are the extras.
Real fucking extras, man. What are we doing? Like this.
Our villain is the bad guy. That's the first one that gets shot and taken.
This is horrific. I got.
Bad guy number one.
Can I just break down our
Taken down.
I can break down number one. No, you got first of all, nobody here looks better than me when it comes to wearing a suit. Okay.
I don't know. I got a pretty sick tux on.
But it's just funny so the only people in right now this cycle, the only people that made money were the fucking products. Like everybody's showing P&Ls of $3.05, bro. Like these motherfuckers caking like $300 billion a month.
I don't know. A lot of traders made a lot of money.
I'm not saying traders, real traders didn't make money. I'm saying the motherfuckers that say that they made money and then they show you the P&L. Pumped Off Fun is just sitting back there with their balls on the table, collecting $300 million average a month. Average.
I demand better villains.
Yo, and the villains, right? You can look at Pumped Off Fun as the villain, right? What do they say? Oh, we got an airdrop coming.
I'm sorry. Big Unk, you already know the super cycle. We had the super cycle. It was super up and now it's super down for memes. The
Fuck
meme
you,
queen
man.
super cycle is super up, super down.
Oh,
Speed running
man.
cycle theory, super cycles.
Super cycles in the garbage. That's what the super cycle is. Yo, go fuck yourself, man. Honestly.
What did I tell? What did I say on your stage? What did I tell Henoch constantly? Bitcoin is your daddy. It is sucking up all of the liquidity. You've got a super cycle, your speed running cycle theory. It's super up. It's going to go super down. And people freaking harpooned me for that. I said it.
You know what they're good at? I'm thinking about this. You know what
Literally
the
a quarter
cabal is
before the
good
high.
at?
I called it.
I'm gonna tell you
Q1
what the
to Q2
cabal is good at.
2025.
Their PR messaging. So all the good guys in crypto, and listen, we all have our flaws.
There's
Okay,
a
we're
good
not
guy in
fucking
crypto?
perfect.
Where?
I'm just saying, we all have our flaws. We're not perfect. But we've been here forever. We really have been here forever. I am going to July, I will be celebrating being on Twitter for 16 years. I don't even know if that's a good achievement or not.
I'm
just
sorry.
saying.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
David. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sorry that you've lost 16 years.
I mean, I'm gonna look at what my anniversary date is for Bitcoin talk and shit.
Man,
I miss those forums, by the way.
I mean, they're still there. You can go
Yeah,
chat.
it's not the same.
No, it's because I'm astroturfing the shit out of it constantly, but whatever.
No,
Don't mind
but
me.
it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like I'm telling you, it's never mind. Anyway, but you used to be smart. After 16 years, you lost a lot. Okay, says a guy who voted for Kamala. Anyway, save that shit. Do me a favor. Okay. Says the guy who was going to move to Canada. What happened? What happened? What happened, Unc?
What? Oh, sorry, I had to.
Says the guy who was going to move to Canada. Who the hell wants to move to Canada?
I'm sorry, that's such a good dig, though. It's such a good dig.
You said you were moving to Canada.
You know what you can actually hang your hat on?
Hold on, I didn't finish my fucking monologue, bro.
Over the course of 16 years, David, you've gotten a lot healthier. You've turned your life around. You've gotten
What
healthy.
the fuck are you talking about?
You've gotten really into working out. You've had a lot of time to think and grow as a person.
You motherfucker, bro. You know, so to land that, I wanted to say that the cabal of 13 people, they know how to, their PR is good. Like, they're bad. We're not. Forget about us, fucking around with Libra. Forget about us being with Melania token and all these things. Look at them. Look at them right there. That's what they do good. You're laughing. This motherfucker's on mute. But you know what I'm fucking talking about.
I'm freaking dying over here. I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat. I'm listening to you, and I have so many things to say, but I can't stop laughing.
I just get better looking with age, bro. It is like, this is fucking, it's unfair. It is unfair to you, motherfucker. It is absolutely unfair. I could grow out a mohawk right now and make it look good. All of a sudden, everybody's wearing a suit.
I agree. I put on a tux just so I could try to one up you, but I don't look as good.
Every single, almost.
I'll give you that.
I've played your fucking videos. Y'all look like you came out the hamper. Okay? Now everybody's rocking a suit. Now it's cool. Before they used to say, oh, look at him rocking a suit. He's talking about Wall Street and suits, and now he's one of them. Look at these motherfuckers now. It's a change. Don't look over here. I said, but look, I'll give it props because you got to look the part in order for the industry to take you seriously. Okay? You can't look like you just came out of fucking, I don't know, Old Navy.
Everyone takes me seriously now. Put on the tux. And they're like, yeah.
Better nose. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, what?
CTMZ said I have a better nose. What the fuck? I have the best nose, you can say.
I'm going to go find an
I don't know about better.
David. We're going to do... David, have you been replaced?
Uh-oh.
Have they replaced you? Is that what happened?
I'm the original looks maxer, okay? Without hitting my face with hammers.
Did the Jewish Council replace the real David Gokhshtein with this guy in the suit?
That's one of the reasons why... Oh, my God, I can't say that. Oh, fuck. That card's gone for good, bro.
Yep.
I went there. That's crazy. See, this is the kind of shit we just say out in New York, or I should say, when I was... Never mind. Oh, my God.
Will the real David Gokhshtein please stand up? Please stand up.
I don't... Why are people bringing up
who's this guy over here who's not into memes anymore and he's criticizing it there? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I have no idea who he is.
I'm an industry plant.
Hey, David, remember when you were running the entirety of the meme coin market? And
remember when I was accused of being the creator of Mt. Gox?
Yes,
she says I have a CTMZ says I have a better nose than that guy. That's not like really. I don't even know if that's a compliment.
Does Razmir have a nose complex or something? Wait, am I missing
no
something?
clue.
I'm confused.
Shout out to everybody. All I gotta say is though, I hope everybody wins. But like when I look at this whole thing, when I look at the battlefield, okay, when I look at the battlefield, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you can't be harping on people like me and others that legit like you want to bark on some things like everybody fucking trips. Like, stop it. Okay. When I ain't gonna get every single call right, but like here you have literally, I hate using that word, but literally you have the people that executed you. There you go. Big Unk knows. David, I got shit for days that you were accused of. I mean, I've been accused for breathing wrong.
Well, you do breathe kind of funny.
The fuck you talking about? what are we talking? You know what? I think he's right. I think it's because I'm Jewish. And they don't even know that I am not accepted by the tribe. This is so, you know what's so fucked up? I don't even have a tribe. He's on mute again. Landy's on mute because I don't even have a tribe. The Jews don't accept me. They literally, I'm telling you, I will have an alt-right page on the ADL fucking website. I don't have anybody. I really don't. I'm the bad guy. I'm like fucking Scarface. You need me. You need people like me.
You know, here's the problem is that we have such bad villains that people had to message like Unk and me and all kinds of other people about you being the villain. We have to manufacture villains.
Yo, there you go. We have literally solved. We have solved it. Okay. The bad guys in this industry are so bad that you motherfuckers had to turn me into the bad guy. Tony Montana. You had to turn me into Tony Montana.
Oh man. Yeah, we
apologies. That's
you know what? I'm on board with it now. Pardon SBF. Let's get this bad guy arc rolling. He is the good weird. I think Unk said it earlier. He's the good weird Batman villain. Just give him a Joker smile, put him out there. Let's do this. Let's run it back. We need a real villain to lead the way. And look, all the things he invested in performed great. I mean, that's a legitimate don't mind the giant hole in the balance sheet or anything and using everybody's money to do it, but it worked out in the end. So I mean, like, who's really the villains? What kind of villains do we have? It's like, what kind of villains are you willing to embrace as the real headline villain?
We're not gonna. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy here. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way.
I'm just saying, Landy.
Yeah.
I mean, is that not it?
Look, he was a really good bad guy.
He was a good bad guy. Like,
And
I think we narrowed everything
sympathetic
down today,
to-
Landy.
you could be sympathetic to his mentality. You could identify with portions of his mentality, which was what made him a really good bad guy.
I think we finally nailed it down. When you think about it, hold on. Fuck. Again, man.
That's what we want.
Hold on. I gotta fix this problem here. I really do gotta fix this fucking problem. This is fucking annoying. You hear me or no?
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to play something. Some people tell me that I look like him in The Godfather. You gotta tell me if this is true, bro. Hold on. Some people. Oh. I didn't buy premium on this one.
Draw chips for everybody in the room so they can play in the house.
My credit good enough to buy you out?
Buy me out.
A casino. A hotel.
Is there a resemblance?
You got to shave. We got to find out.
Well, I'm not shaving right now, man. I could see it.
Corleone family wants to buy you out.
The Corleone family wants to buy me out. No, I buy you out. You don't buy me out.
Your casino loses money. Maybe we can do better.
You think I'm...
Yo, I didn't even know. Yo, your casino loses money. Absolutely. This is, you know who's talking right now? Bro, you know what this is right now?
Why you got to talk to Vitalik like that, huh?
No. This is Elon from Pumped Up Fun.
Maybe.
Listen.
We'll see.
Loses money. Maybe we can do better.
You think I'm skimming off the top, Mike?
You're unlucky.
You goddamn guineas really make me laugh. I do you a favor and take Freddie in when you're having a bad time, and then you try to push me out.
Wait a minute. You took Freddie in because the Corleone family bankrolled your casino because the Molinari family on the coast guaranteed his safety. Now, we're talking business. Let's talk business.
Yeah, let's talk business, Mike. First of all, you're all done. The Corleone family don't even have that kind of muscle anymore. The Godfather is sick, right? You're getting chased out of New York by Barzini and the other families. What do you think is going on here? You think you can come to my hotel and take over? I talked to Barzini. I can make a deal with him and still keep my hotel.
Is that why you slap my brother around in public?
Oh, no, that was nothing, Mike. Now, Mo didn't mean nothing by that. Sure, he flies off the handle once in a while, but Mo and me were good friends, right, Mo, huh?
I got a business to run. I gotta kick asses sometimes to make it run right. We had a little argument, Freddie and I, so I had to straighten him out.
You straightened my brother out.
He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. Players couldn't get a drink at the table. What's wrong with you?
I leave for New York tomorrow. Think about a price.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
Wait a minute, Mo. Mo, I got an idea. Tom, you're the consigliere. Now, you can talk to the Don, you can explain...
Just a minute.
Don is semi-retired, and Mike is in charge of the family business now.
Can I,
Have anything to say?
can I show you what I
Say it to
feel
Mike.
like every single day, Landy? Can I actually show you what I feel like on a daily basis?
Let's see. We're rolling the dice here.
This is what I feel like every single day when I come on to social media, especially Threads now.
When are you making your Blue Sky account?
Okay. This is the scene. This is every day for me.
Son of a bitch.
The kick at the end.
That's every day, bro.
Kick at the end. Look,
Yeah, man.
I have legitimate criticisms for that scene, and one is that they were basically encircling him and shooting.
Shot.
Well,
That-
they were also They would have been shooting each other in real life, right? Because half of that's going through the car, it's going through him, it's hitting each other, and that would be more emblematic of social media and crypto in general as well.
Yeah.
Just getting shot
Well,
up, kicked in the
Today
head.
we had a moment, Landy. We had a moment today.
Yeah.
We finally figured it out. We figured out why. We figured out the why in crypto. Wow. Round of applause. Man. We'll be right back after this commercial break. We figured out the why in crypto.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. I'm back. The bad guy's back. Along with my evil puppet.
I mean, you do have a sidekick that is a cartoonish character. So, I mean, you are really developing the villain arc.
I actually like it. Because
Everyone hates my take.
At least they appreciate
time.
it for something. Right? I think about it. They appreciate you for something. Fuck it, be a villain. It is what it is.
I really do. You have a good narrative here. You are the villain. You have your sidekick, a cartoonish puppet character that everyone hates, but a certain section of the crowd enjoys or loves to hate. It's. I mean, you've got all of the ingredients for the villain of crypto. Now it's just taking the next step. We got to build the space laser.
And once you're the villain, it doesn't really fucking matter, right?
Yeah. No, anything you do is going to be the worst thing that could ever happen. Ever.
I'm supposed to do it, right?
Yeah. The puppet should be sitting on your shoulder.
No, that's the funniest part. It's like, I'm supposed to be doing, like, oh my God, you see what the Joker did? Yeah, he's supposed to do that. I didn't talk about this one though. Sailor bought more Bitcoin on Monday.
That's why it's down, right?
Sailor bought Bitcoin, and apparently all the fudders will say that it's well, Jesus Christ, man. You know, Sailor was the hero, right? And then Bitcoin goes. You imagine saying Bitcoin is down at $62,000? Like, I am sitting here thinking, like, oh my God, Bitcoin is now Bitcoin is down, and it's at $62,000. And nobody ever expected these prices. If you've been here for a while, you would never expect it.
What? No, I actually called for these prices. 58 to 60 was the initial major downside target. So most people that have been here a long time have been looking for these prices. It's the people that have been here for the short time that, or shills with products have been like, no, it's never going to go down. Bitcoin to $1 million. Tomorrow, you're going to wake up, it's going to be $1 million. Fuck all the other problems that would come with Bitcoin being at $1 million, by the way, because the entire world would be in chaos if that were the case. But, you know.
I even got Sahil attacking me.
Oh, no, not Sahil. He was a bad villain, too. He's like one of the first ones to get shot in the opening scene.
Bro, nobody knew who Sahil was back then. Back then, I mean, the company didn't know who the fuck he was at all. Zero. But look, I'm telling you, all these cats are like embraced.
Well, yeah.
I can. This is why, like, sometimes, like, the good guys turn bad, man. Not me. Not yet. Not yet.
Can make it happen.
Live long enough to.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, look, the what is it? That was the Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, live long. Hold on. Oh my God, I thought Vitalik replied to one of my things. Here's some chick. Some chick said, this guy David just says the same thing over and over again. Considering how long he's been here, he should be worth 8 to 9 figures. Instead, he was shilling sub 1 million vamps. Can you name these vamps for me? I love reading these comments. If you want a career, this should be a commercial. If you want a career, all you have to do is attack David. That's right.
Well, yeah.
If you want to be seen and heard, all you have to do is come at me. Let's see when she signed up. Oh, account made in 2022.
Well, it's like you said, you're starting to, before you were reading that, you were starting to do the Batman quote, Harvey Dent, you either die a hero, live long enough to become the villain. So it's just that we get that every 4 years, cyclically, until we don't.
It is
Whenever
so
that is.
true. This is bear market vibes.
Oh yeah. I mean, fitting.
And again,
It's a bear
never-
market.
We never look at the people that tossed your salad. No.
I don't know where that analogy was going, but that was all Diddy.
That tossed your salad, but we look at the people who didn't. And that's right.
Right.
That's why I'm saying this is what I say about Charles. I say it about Sather. If I call him Sather one more time, bro, he's gonna be the general manager of the Rangers, man, or the Oilers, maybe.
What if that's his next buy? It's not Bitcoin, it's the Rangers.
There you go. Sailor. Everybody that is trying to build in this space or do something in this space, those are the people that you attack, and they're the bad guys. But the bad guys aren't the bad guys, and this is a fucked up show on Netflix. It's one of those fucked up shows on Netflix. 100%.
Yeah. Look, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't care. Right?
I want to be your hero, baby.
Price action is king. And people got into denial mode at the highs when people like myself were calling for 123 to 125.
Yo, Landy cannot forget to go ahead and pat himself on the back.
No, I'm gonna go back in time. In 2024, right around election time, I said Q1 to Q2 of 2025. You better get out of your memes because everything's going down. Memes ain't gonna come back after that, and they didn't. Got crucified for it. Got told that I didn't know what I was talking about. My account's age is only since 2021. I'm new here.
I'm sorry for saying that. It's just I was looking. If your account is 2022, you know what? I love the fact when people. You know what I love when people say, "You should be at 8-9 figures." So basically, once you get to that number, you're not allowed to post anymore. You're not allowed to go ahead and participate in the markets. Once you succeeded at some sort of number, 8, 9, 10 figures, whatever it is that you guys throw out there, the new kids on the block, they are putting it out there that you are not allowed to be in crypto no more. Because if you had that kind of money and you're on here talking about other things, because Pepe was at, you imagine Pepe was a sub 1 million shitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I happened to be holding spaces about it at 500 grand market cap. You know, Dogecoin was under a penny. What a shitter. Shiba Inu. I mean, I could keep going and going and going. I mean, you're not allowed to talk about these things. I mean, with your analogy, you little fucking idiots that haven't graduated fucking high school, with the analogy that you guys use, you know what? I take that back. I think all you guys graduated, like you say, from Ivy League schools. But with that analogy, then nobody would be on CNBC. Jim Cramer still wouldn't be investing. Warren Buffett, what is he doing? Warren Buffett, why are you investing? Like, Warren Buffett buys things that go into bankruptcy. They're sub nothing shitters, right? And then somehow he turns them into something. I guess we all should retire once we hit like 7, 8, 9, 10 figures or something. I'm broke. I'm out here broke. Pretend that I am broke.
let's put it this way. This is usually my response because people always they always at me, especially especially because I get into a lot of fights with Bitcoin maxis. Um, they always at me and they're like, "Oh, you're just trading because you're poor." And like, bro, I'm here on this app giving my opinion, going on shows, going on stages because I can afford to be here, right? And it cuts two ways. There's people on this application that can afford to be here because they're on welfare, and then there's people that can afford to be here because they've made money. And you don't get the privilege of determining which is which. They will show you who they are. And there's a lot of broke ass behavior out there. A lot of broke motherfucking behavior. And they constantly show themselves. So, you have to make that determination for yourself, individual by individual, but they always reveal themselves
Listen,
at the end of the day.
I honestly, man, I don't care. Like I've
I don't
it's
really
like
care either, but it's the
I like
narrative.
talking about it because I think I like pointing out the hypocrites. And I think it's funny. Like at this point it's just funny. It's not even I think in you know what, Landy, in around when I when I popped off, like really popped off in like 16 on with the microphone and shit and a video camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not used to, and I say this all the time, like as a creator, uh, just starting off as a creator, I guess, and stuff. You
You
go
got
from
incredibly
everybody
popular
cheering you
very
on,
quickly. Like
and then
very quickly.
and then people start coming at you, and like,
Yeah.
holy shit, nobody would talk to me outside like this. Like, no, I would never. I've never. You know what it is, Landy? I've never had anybody speak to me the way people would speak to me on social media. So it's like, yo, what the fuck? And then you would get angry in the tweets. And then it comes to you one day. It's just like, yo, I don't care. Like, as long as you know, and I tell this to a lot of people, as long as you know who you are, like that's it, man. Like, it is what it is, and you continue to do your thing. You continue to ascend to new levels and be on your way. Like you used to block the haters. No, you don't block the haters. You want them to come along because they're your biggest fans.
Oh yeah.
They make time to come see you, like even more so than the people that are rooting for you without ever talking shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of creators have a hard time creating content because they get scared. No, I'm being serious. A lot of creators get scared to create content because they fear that somebody's going to say something about them and they're going to get agitated and they're going to come out there, you gotta let it be, man. If you want to be in this position, you want to be a media personality, a content creator, you want to be in front of this camera and you want an audience, you're gonna have to understand with that audience comes 5 to 10% of them are absolutely gonna be rootless. They're gonna wake up daily. Every single day, they're gonna come up with, they're gonna slander you, defame you, they're gonna talk shit. It doesn't matter. Like they're going to do everything possible to rattle you, and you're going to have to finally come to the point of disconnecting that nerve, that being sensitive and all. It is what it is. It is what it is. The people that you align with will one day be your biggest hate. I'm telling you, they will be hating from the back channels. They will put on a smile, but they will be slipping shit into your drink. I am telling you. That knife into your back slowly with a smile on. As long as you know who you are, you're good. And you'll make it.
It's interesting because, you got popular very, very quickly. It was like you popped and then it was like a flood, right? And then there's people who've gotten popular over a long period of time. I think it's very different because it can be very jarring when you get popular very, very quickly and you're kind of everywhere or go viral very, very quickly. That can be jarring, right? Because you're not expecting the hate that comes along with popularity, no matter how good of a person you might be or not, doesn't really matter. And then there's those who have slowly built over time, and they have a chance to ease themselves into the hate, right? And get used to it. So it's like, look, it when you put yourself out there, it's not easy to do. So respect to the people that put themselves out there.
Yeah.
It is not easy to create and put out content and see that people absolutely for no reason at all. It can be your appearance, it can be your voice, it can be just intensely personal things about you, or it can be something that you said, or just fabrications.
Well, that
And
I've never been like, you know how like I see a lot of people that are called ugly. Nobody can call me ugly. They can't say I have a receding hair. They can't do anything with the looks part. So like, okay, what do we get to? What can we do about him next?
yeah. And then there's people
What
that
can you
social
do?
climb, right? They'll be your friend today and your enemy
Oh,
tomorrow.
Gokshi Media. They had sponsorships. They were getting paid for sponsorships. I'm telling you, this we're not a nonprofit. That's the best this space can do. If I really
Everybody,
wanted to, I can dig in, but I choose
yeah.
not to.
Look, everybody that puts a microphone in front of them and turns the camera on, I respect for whether I agree with them or disagree with them, because you're going to take all of the hate. Whether I agree with the positions or not doesn't really matter. You're going to take all the hate, and that is something that will either destroy you or build you up, right?
I
That's
think
what the
social
world is.
media is great if you want to build yourself up, forget about from the standpoint of your brand. I think social media is great to where it can make you a better person. Or I should not even a better person, because that doesn't I'll say it'll make you it can build you.
Or break you.
Yeah, but if if you can build out, you can handle anything. Like they say, like if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I'm telling you right now, if you can make it on Threads, if you can
Bro.
make it on social media, yeah. You know, that's what I noticed, Landy. Though I am the bad guy. Like I don't want to be the bad guy, but I am the bad guy.
Bro, I've read your Threads posts. You are clearly going for the top villain spot over there. 100% guaranteed. This is for anybody questioning that, go and read what he's posting over there and tell me that he isn't just farming the hate, like elite level hate farm. That is actually what is
What am
going
I
on over there.
saying? Here's what I come on, man.
Okay, Joe. I'm telling you, you need to now cross over to Blue Sky, and you need to amp this up, elevate your game.
I'll get banned from Blue Sky, but
Yes, you would. Yeah, for sure. You'd
I
be gone in
wrote.
a heartbeat.
Here's what I wrote. I said President Trump is not a dictator.
You could just end it there, and you're gonna get
No, but that's what I said.
a
I said
wall of
President
hate.
Trump is not a dictator. So some dude right away, you felt the need to type that out. That says it all. What does it say? Some guys, Rob, stay running. Imagine living in a democracy where this has to be posted. Yeah, we are.
We don't live in a democracy.
Nope. Obama was a dictator. This guy wrote, "Did you
You're getting
remember
support.
Swallow?"
Oh, weird. What is happening over there? Are you changing their minds?
Nah, yeah, that caught me off guard. And then the guy says, "Did you remember to swallow?"
All right, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Come on, that's kind of
I
funny.
laugh at these things, man. He's a fucking asshole. Give me my money back for overpaying for gas for my SUV the last 4 months. You old sinner. Okay.
They should have just bought a Tesla. Oh wait, they can't do that anymore. They stopped supporting him in 2024.
It's wild, man. I go on here. I was like, yo, are there any conservatives on here? Like I literally wrote that.
No.
I said Tucker Carlson says he's done supporting the Republican Party after 35 years. So people are writing like Tucker has lost his damn mind and he's owned by the Chinese.
Wait, I thought it was Qataris. Now they're on to Chinese already? What is happening here?
What he's not telling you is that the Republican Party left him 20 years ago. He won't be missed. Just teeing up for that third party run.
Yeah,
He calls what he did support. Rather than off the sinking ship. He has to go to the side that has more Jew hate, which is the radical left. I stand in the middle now because of it.
No, the left and the right are essentially indistinguishable from each other than the gender issues. They're pretty much the same on both, at the extremes.
One of my yesterday I wrote a tweet or a post. I don't know what the fuck they call it here.
A thread.
A thread.
A string.
The people calling Trump a dictator have clearly never lived under an actual dictator. In America, you can spend all day insulting the president and nothing happens. Try that in Russia. So the replies were, I have 2,200 likes, almost 1,200 comments. Y'all got people fired for Charlie Kirk jokes, and you detained the kid's travel visa because he had a meme of JD Vance on his phone. Somebody did that's cool. Somebody did a community note on that person. By the way, I can do community notes now.
Oh, good. Great. David just trolling in community notes constantly.
In America, you can't touch the reflecting pool water without being arrested.
Oh, wait. Are you team algae? Yeah, who's team algae? Are you team algae? Oh man, we gotta protect the algae.
Now, when I wrote that, a guy comes in and he says, we call him a wannabe dictator. Huge difference. And he just called for the arrest of those who have criticized him and shows canceled which criticize him.
He didn't call for the arrest of people criticizing. That's not true.
You think MAGA has any intelligence to know the difference? I don't think anybody cares in Russia if you insult Trump all day.
Okay, that's actually a good one. That's actually a good one. Yo, shout out to whoever put that. That's hilarious.
It's Javier, guy in F. Javier. That's the guy.
That's a good witty comeback. That's a good witty comeback.
John writes, yep, try that in China as well. In one day, you'll be arrested and either deported, imprisoned, or sent to some jail cell. I said exactly.
Camp. You go to a work camp.
Let's see. I'm Cuban. We've been under dictatorship since 1952. Trump is a dictator. Oh, hold on. Respectfully, to compare Cuba to America and say that you're living under a dictatorship, that's wild business, man. I can't take you seriously, man.
No, that's clearly stupid.
You're gonna have to show me a birth certificate that states that you're Cuban.
Bro never actually lived in Cuba. He just happens to be Cuban and doesn't like Trump. That's all.
Dude went to DR and flew past Cuba or some shit. So he's not directing the DOJ to go after anyone he considers has challenged him then? So I guess Biden was a dictator then, since you guys weaponized the goddamn legal system to go ahead and put Trump in jail.
Well, there's only nuance on one side, David. You
Yeah.
can't have nuance on the other.
The people calling liberals communists have never lived under actual communism.
Oh, that's true. Most haven't.
Yeah. Radical liberals defending Russia just because of their hate towards the orange man is crazy.
So you found that there are a few conservatives on there. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're not conservative. Maybe they're just, sane.
Here's a guy. Fun fact: the best cure for dictators is not letting them come into power so they can become dictators. Do you bozos remember Russians warning Russia what would happen if Putin won?
Wait a minute. Did they forget the whole communism period? Are you just going to ignore that it went from
Listen,
communism to a dictatorship?
I also said this, which I got a lot of flack. Hold on. There's a reason why people flee socialist countries and not the other way around. Right? You don't see normal Americans leaving this country and going to like socialist countries.
Look at what just happened in Colombia. Look at what just happened in Colombia.
Yeah, exactly.
Socialism died over the weekend.
So this is what I was told. I'm not uneducated. They said, "Congratulations, you just showed everyone how poorly educated you are. Bravo." Last year, there were more U.S. Citizens who moved to Europe than Europeans who moved to the U.S. I mean, some of these, honestly, Landy, some of these things have points. Like some sort of merit that I can go ahead and say, okay, there are people that leave America, not because they hate America, it's just that they just want a quieter life. I know people that have moved from the US to Portugal or Spain or whatever. But they've made all their money here. Like think about all the people who have left America. All these actors like George Clooney, who's left America for France, right? I believe it's France. Like they have money. They ain't leaving America. They made all their money. You know what's the funniest part? I love this country. You have people, especially these actors that have millions of dollars that will say the most absurd shit you can ever fucking hear. You can't make it here. Meanwhile, they're sitting in the fucking chair chilling, doing press releases and shit. Being chauffeured around. You got Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, talking about Elon becoming a trillionaire while she's being chauffeured
in a limo.
In a limo. Like, these things don't make sense, right? It's not like she stopped by the side of the road in her Tesla or some shit and said, "Hey man, I just want to touch on this topic." You got this guy Roe, who's made over $200 million in Congress, made $200 million, telling Elon he should be paying 5% in taxes. You notice how they mention everybody else should be paying the 5%. Every wealthy person should be paying 5%. Never mentioning themselves, right? By the way, our politicians on both sides, they get $174 per year, $174,000 per year. They get free healthcare, entire family, okay, covered, our tax-paying dollars. And somehow their net worths are in the millions. If we look at then and now, millions. And they're lecturing, we need to incentivize our entrepreneurs. Otherwise, if they see that, once I make it to a certain point, I'm basically punished for being successful, then nobody's going to want to be here. Or nobody's going to want to become an entrepreneur. What is the point of being an entrepreneur if you get punished for it? What do you think? You think the entire time Elon was moving up the ladder that he was having fun? Like, why don't we talk about the time? Where were you, Elizabeth Warren, when Elon was sitting on the goddamn factory floor? No money, no more money, zero to his name, praying that he can go ahead and save both Tesla and SpaceX, because that's what he put the bet on, both of them surviving. When asked to pick one or the other, he picked both. Where were you talking about Elon? This is the crazy shit that goes on in our country, where you have this one side that is not encouraging people to, chase their dreams and seize opportunities in America. They're penalizing people for doing so. Socialism, and then people mention, oh, well, we have socialism here. Well, yeah, we have people that shouldn't be on certain programs because they're healthy enough to go get a goddamn job. But the Democrats, okay, for the most part, the radical left want them to live off the government because that means that they control them when it's time to vote. It's a very simple thing to look at and be objective to it. That when you say the word free, people will more likely side with the person saying free than the person telling you that you should work and you have an opportunity to succeed and make money by going outside and working. That's why Mandani won. But what has been free? Nothing in New York City has been free. And more, I mean, it costs more. He's talking about government-owned grocery stores that will cost $30 million to build out versus Aldi, which would cost $1.4 million to build out. So what's better?
Well,
that is the biggest problem that we face, especially coming from the people that voice these concerns. They're millionaires.
well, it's also, there was a good video that somebody put up. I can't find it right now, where the gentleman did a video where it's like, oh, let's steal Elon Musk's $1 trillion. And the guy turns around and his response says, why don't we steal Elon Musk's $1 trillion and then solve world hunger? He turned around and he said, well, we've given Africa $2.6 trillion and they still haven't solved world hunger. And then it just continues on and on and on like that with different examples of the trillions of dollars already allocated. And, so how about we use it to fix the educational system, except the US already spends $1.3 trillion a year on it. Let's end poverty, except America already spent over $22 trillion on ending poverty. It's like, the point being is, one of the biggest problems that these politicians, it's nice to say, to cater to these angry, upset people who are upset that they can't find a way out. And a lot of these same programs that they can't find a way out of, these social safety net programs, are because, if you look at New York, for instance, if somebody's on welfare in New York, they're on different benefit programs from the state, they're on different programs from the federal government. It discourages them from even going out and getting a job, because the moment they lose the job, they lose their insurance coverage, right? And if the job that they can get doesn't provide insurance coverage, then they have to pay for that insurance coverage. So they literally, it becomes a math game for them, right? And this is one of the problems that a few people there in the state of New York have brought up, is like, you keep them on the treadmill because as soon as there's no clear path out of these social safety net programs for these people to go get a job. And when they have tried to create these paths of like, hey, they'll supplement or they'll do this or that, they always come along and then have people that end up taking those benefits away, right? They pull the rug out from underneath these people, and then they're stuck. And they primarily have done this to minority communities in New York. They've done it to minority communities in California and many other states like Oregon. They do this. They get you on these social safety net programs with no clear path out. So it becomes a numbers game of, if we do this, then we're basically going to work for less money and a worse quality of life than if I just stayed still. And then that begets more encouragement for social safety net programs based on how many children. If you have another kid, then you can get more money. And like, it becomes this loop of keeping their thumb on the poor, of, oh, well, we're going to keep giving, we're going to up your benefits, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but no clear roadmap out of it. And then anybody who challenges the way that the system is constructed, maybe wants to construct an off ramp for these folks, they get criticized as, these people are going to take your benefits away, they're going to steal from you, they want you to become even more poor and destitute. And this has been primarily Democrat run states. It's not unique to Democrat run states. This is also social safety net programs, and the way that they're used in Republican run states are often the same. Um, but if you actually do a statistical analysis of those social safety net programs that we have here from federal and state side of things in the United States, you'll see that in a lot of Republican states, there is supplements and a way to actually bridge out of those programs. And in a lot of Democrat states, there's walls being put up around these programs. And the incentive is, no, we're just going to give you more, right? Because you're unhappy and you're starting to talk about or cry out for a way off, an off ramp, to be a participant in the actual economy and in the job growth that's happening. And what do they end up doing? Instead of that, they create these programs to import people from overseas, through H-1Bs, or import from across the border for low labor that takes these jobs. And they say, well, there's no jobs anyway, so we're just going to have to give you more. And this person over here is a bad person because they want to try to solve the problem. Now, this has been a uniquely Democrat run problem, but it was not unique to just the Democrats for a very long time. It was also a Republican problem. And they've both used it to their advantage in elections. And unfortunately, that's where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. There is solutions, and there is sane people who have tried to implement those solutions, but every time they try to implement those solutions, there's somebody there to block them, and it's usually coming from within the house, from within their own party or within their own power structure. It's very, very prominent in California, very, very prominent in New York. And it's the Democrats that kill it there. It's not the Republicans. The Democrats are the ones in charge. You can't
Yeah.
find a way out. And but the thing is then they can easily point to, during election time as well, this Republican over here that wants to solve that problem, provide you with an off ramp, provide you with supplemental stuff, job training and this and that, so that, like in California and New York, they have job training programs. If you're below the poverty line, you're on benefits programs, you can go and get free training. These are good programs, good spirited, and they were developed by Democrats while Democrats were in power. The problem is, they do the cost benefit analysis. Everybody that goes in, they get the training to go for those jobs. They start working those jobs, and their benefits get cut.
Yeah.
And then they're working hard and they're taking in less. Then they're right back on the wheel of the benefits program. So, and there's good Democrats. There's good Democrats that have called this out, that we need better guidelines and better ways to actually lift people out of poverty. But their solution is typically just to, I need to win the election. Here's some free shit. Here, we're going to
Well,
up your benefits.
that's the one thing that I like touching on, is that, like, I don't think every Democrat is bad.
No, absolutely not. There's
I
really
feel
good
like
Democrats.
there are a lot of Democrats, like, even though I might not agree with all the policies, like they want to go ahead and they do align with some of the things that Republicans are saying, and Republicans also. It's vice versa, man. At the end of the day, we need to remember, and maybe I'll say something that actually blows your minds here, but these are politicians. I know, Landy, you're blown away right now,
Yep.
but they are politicians. Let's call it for what it is. They are politicians. I
And
mean,
they're
look
all
at
wrapped up in fraud too, by the way. Yes, I
I
acknowledge
mean,
that now.
look at Dune, man. Like, what has he done?
Nothing. The call's coming from inside the house always, whether it's Democrat or Republican. It is still the uniparty at the end of the day. And that's why people are so upset. It's why politics has gotten so divisive. It's why there is a call for a third party to actually rise.
You have
Oh,
to have a third party, though, like the founding fathers.
I think you have to
Let's-
change from within. on both
Yeah,
sides.
but the founding fathers stated themselves, like when you have a two-party system, and
Yes.
historically, like when you have a two-party system, nothing's going to change. Like it's not going to change because even if one side has control of everything, you still can't do anything. You
I
really
agree.
can't. Look, our government can't pass something that is so critical for the United States of America.
And popular
That
on
is
both sides.
this is both sides.
Yes.
And this is about
It's
just
literally an
passing this.
80-20 issue.
This should be a 100-0, bro. Like this should be, yeah, we want fair elections. We want to make sure that the people of the United States of America, citizens of the United States of America, are voting. And for this to be an issue where it's turned into, oh, it's racist. No. That's what I'm saying. A third party, when you have a Republicans, Democrats, and a real third party, this doesn't happen. It gets passed. I'm not saying everything that gets. Look, I had Parianne Boring on here.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Clarity Act.
Yes.
And I was saying, like, you know what? The Clarity Act as it is, I don't think it should pass. She goes, you know what? It should pass. Because only like 1% of all these bills actually go through. Even less than that.
This is true.
And then her thought was like, hey, then you make adjustments as you move forward, you know? My whole thing is like, why don't we have the proper bill? Like, why don't we come up with the proper bill and pass it? But the way our government works is pass it. And then when people are in power, then you can kind of fucking tweak it. But
well, here's the
that's
problem.
not how it should be.
It's always pass first, read later, right? And that's the problem is nothing ever gets adjusted later.
Yeah, it sucks, man. That's why I get frustrated with listen, I get frustrated with both sides. At the end of the day, you work for the people. Doesn't matter. Even if the American
clearly
even if there's an
don't.
American citizen did not vote for you, you work for that person.
Here's the problem. Yes, in theory, they're supposed to work for the people, but it's very clear and has been very clear for a long time. This is not unique to a Trump presidency. It's not unique to a Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton presidency. It's very clear for a long, long time that they don't work for us. When they get to Washington, D.C., they stop working for us and they start working for all of the special interests. And they literally are at the beck and call of their own staff. This is something that if you're in the Beltway, you know that it's all about the staff, and staffs in Washington, D.C., they float around from rep to rep over time. Some of them stay entrenched the longer that the rep is entrenched, but then they train up and they recommend the same, people that were under their wing to new people of Congress that come in. And that's where you can come in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with all of the right things to say and all of the right ideals to do, and then Washington, D.C. will beat you down. It is a swamp.
Yeah. Well, you guys can find me on Threads. Can I be honest? Before we go, X is no more of a challenge. It's not, Landy. It's not a challenge. That's why I'm on Threads.
You had to feel something.
I want to feel something. I want to feel something. By the way, Meta came out with new glasses.
After that snap, I don't blame them. You might as well seize the opportunity because the Snapchat glasses debacle. Oh my God.
Terrible.
Zuckerbucks
Did Snap ever recover? Did Snap recover? I don't think they'll ever recover from that.
I don't think they've. I mean, they did like recover lower term timeframes off of a low, but I don't think they're doing well. Let me go look. Yeah, they have not recovered. They recovered in the very low term timeframes for one day, and they're selling off back to their lower low structure here. Look, I don't think Snap who uses Snap anymore? I mean, like, I don't. Where's their market? Like, the big thing is they haven't really had um they haven't had the mass market appeal of. I mean,
No, but I think the
any of the
younger
top players.
generation uses Snap. You know, you got the older generation using Instagram, and then obviously you got old dudes like you using X, and
like me. Yeah.
um,
People are always surprised that I'm not in my 20s, which is weird.
some people have said that the algorithm on X has gotten better. As of yesterday, people see more impressions on their posts.
Something did change when there was all the weird. I'm sure that's when you got up yesterday, X was broken. It was not doing well for the majority of yesterday. And then all of a sudden, it's like now even like your replies and stuff to that we're getting very little impressions are now actually getting impressions again. Posts are getting impressions. It's interesting to watch. So I don't know what they're doing, what levers they're pulling back there, but something
I will
is
say that the
changing.
algorithm, I love X. I love X. And by the way, I wanted to say, not that he'll see this, but being that I did lose a parent, I know how it feels. I want to give send my condolences to Nikita.
Yeah, for real.
He lost his mother,
Sucks.
so do want to honestly send my condolences out to you. That is it's the worst thing that you can ever go through is losing a parent. So it definitely sucks. And again, once again, my condolences. Obviously, Landy and the entire staff here sends that out to you. But I just think Threads is listen, I'm sure they're cooking up. X seems like they're cooking. I see little things that have changed in terms of the way the applications look when I send a post. The visual design now of when you send the post is a lot different. Looks a lot more crisp. But hey, okay, I guess they're taking their time to slowly push out things. But I think Threads does have. I don't know what it is about their algorithm, but like if you talk about certain topics, you get seen. So I don't know. I've been on Threads for like maybe a week, and it's been different. And, I'm not the only one who says that. Like it's different on Instagram, it's different on Threads, it's different. Like even on TikTok, it's different on TikTok. So like I hope that X comes back. I love X. Like my whole brand was built on Twitter/X. So it's like I pay every month an enormous amount. To me, that's an enormous amount of money to pay to be on X. I don't pay any other platform except X. For the verified organizations and all this shit, boosting things. Like, bro, like we spend a lot of money here. I love to be here, but like at some point, it's just like, man, like I'm not saying you should pay to be seen, right? That's not where I'm going with this. But this will turn into another hour. Let me. I think it should just be a place where you can come to and everybody can be seen. He said, "I own CT. I don't trust me. I don't own CT anymore." Here's a quote that I'm gonna leave you guys with, which is a man who can walk away from what he desires for the sake of what he must become is a man who no one can own. So I don't know what it is. I think when you get older, you get into these type of reading materials. Like I've always read, but I like this type of thing now. Like you know what that means. Like you're in your 50s, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just fucking around. Landy, it's always a fucking pleasure. I'm sure you'll be on. Oh, today's Tuesday, but yesterday you did do the Monday recap. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Landy, on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, it's 8 p.m. with the whole gang that does men's astrology. They link up to talk about how Jupiter meets Mars, and they chart all this stuff out. And you can join in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also find him on Rob Nelson's show, which he was on yesterday, which I was listening to yesterday. As Landy, like you got really serious with Rob. You said, "Can I finish my point?" And I said, "Oh my God, is somebody going to quit?"
No, I mean, look, it was also a long day of me not being able to
No,
finish
you
my
were.
point.
Can I finish my point? And you
I
had the
thought it was a
serious
good
voice.
I thought it was a good conversation with Rob.
Can
Look,
I finish my point?
I did get really close to the
Yeah,
microphone for
you
it.
did. I heard it. Like I was working as like I was listening into the show, and you like, and you guys were bickering back. And Rob has the same shit over and over again. I told you. I just told you that, I don't see it. I don't see. You gotta bomb the bastards. And he's just like, and Landy has the point of like, we didn't go there to, reconstruct Iran.
Or
We didn't go over
regime
there.
change was my point. We never went there, and that's something I said to you and him from day one.
And even
But-
I agree with David's point. I was like, what? Hold on, let me tune in real quick because I'm listening. I'm like, let me hear this. Yeah, I even agree with David's point, and I don't hear that a lot. A lot of people say that I got a bunch of yes people next to me. Nobody fucking agrees with me on anything.
Look, we've had a lot of really, David, I got to say this for real, like on a serious note. You, myself, Big Unk, and Rob have had a lot of really good discourse and conversation surrounding this particular subject. Granted, I don't think it's moving the needle for anybody in terms of their position and outlook on things. But I think that it's something that we don't see often. It's either hyperbolic takes on one side or the other, and very little nuance. And although we do get spicy every once in a while when we're having these conversations, the reality is that we actually are having a robust conversation about the subject, which is something that I think I value, right? And not just I think I value, I do value, but I think that people watching value as well. I've gotten a few people that have messaged me and said, like, look, these are good conversations, even though I disagree with all your dumbasses. But they're at
Listen,
least
that's
good
fine.
conversations.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind when people disagree.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I never asked anybody to come here and agree with anything that we're saying on here. Whether it's about crypto, whatever the topic is, politics. Like I don't expect everybody to agree. You shouldn't agree. You shouldn't agree. You should have your own mind. You should really have your own mind.
Exactly.
Be a
And you
free
got to
thinker.
form your own opinion.
But you should also, just, hey, like, I think if you're able to listen to both sides, you have a better understanding of what's happening. That's really it. That's why I'm on Threads. It's like, oh, why would you go there? No, because I want to hear what these people, like, I feel like, first of all, I told them on Threads, I said, number one, on X, because they're like, we escaped X because we didn't have freedom of speech. I'm like, I'm on X, and I see all the goddamn liberals and Democrats just absolutely going apeshit. So I don't know what you're talking about being silenced. Like, no, I can say this. Is Elon 100% like, does he lean towards MAGA? Or, yeah, I would think so. But he ain't banning people for, look, you just have to come on here and see. He ain't banned, like, on Threads. Like, you guys are attacking anybody that has anything to say about Trump. Like, I gave you a simple thing. I said, Trump is not a dictator. Oh my God, you're on the wrong platform. Like, go back to Truth Social. Yeah,
Well,
oh, wow, man.
yeah, Truth Social doesn't do a lot of numbers. But farming hate on Threads is brilliant.
Yeah,
to
but
be
you know
honest.
what? But that's the thing. Does Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg is kissing Trump's ass, but is he like letting it just like I wonder what he's really doing with, I wonder what he's really doing with Threads.
Well, look, like any good lizard person, He has changed his appearance to become Mark Zuckerberg. All right. So with that change in physical appearance, anytime the lizard people have to change their physical appearance, they have to embody at least a portion, even if it is just a facade. It only goes lizard skin deep,
Yeah.
but they have to embody the uh, the the view of the bro. So he has begun to shift the needle to Mark Zuckerberg a little bit here and there, but he's not fully converted just yet. If a lizard hits the next lizard people hit that next stage of growth, he'll shed his skin and become Mark Zuckerberg politician. But I don't see him doing that. He's got a self interest, bro. Mark Zuckerberg is trapped. There's some really good articles like that dude is trapped right now in that company, and
Why
he's
is
got
he
to do
trapped?
anything he can because they really drove in the wrong direction when they went in the meta direction, and then started a fight with one of the geniuses that was really helping them flesh out their plans when they basically ostracized Palmer Luckey. So, there's a whole story there. Anybody that too long for the conversation, but yeah. Shout out to Palmer Luckey, by the way. That dude's awesome.
I want a CTO Ethereum.
It's gonna be changes here.
No, you know what I was thinking about? Becoming a deep rep for Cardano.
Yeah. Just politics, man. Politics and blockchain are worse than politics and in the political
Fucking
sphere that we
monitor
were
went out
literally
again.
just
Sorry, hold on. This is horrific. Horrific.
I do not like the political nature of some of these DAOs.
I think I think I would do well.
Maybe. But when are they going to become a Bitcoin L2?
We will ask Charles once Charles comes onto the program. I think it's this week or next week.
I wanted, Charles. I got a chance to ask Charles some questions about that a while back now. With the ZK rollup stuff, the Bit VM stuff, and like all of that different layer, the different layer 1 to layer 1 kind of protocols that were being built. And he gave a really thoughtful and understanding, because he understands Bitcoiners, right? He gave a really thoughtful answer about basically the bridge side of things and liquidity side of things and what that looks like. And I'm wondering, he obviously was talking to you even on stage the other day when you had that pop-up space. There must be a path, because clearly he still talks about Bitcoin and unlocking that liquidity in some manner. There's got to be something there with Cardano and Midnight or one or the other. I'm very curious to see what his thoughts are, hear what his thoughts are on that stuff, because that is the race. That's the race. The next big race is going to be to unlock the liquidity within Bitcoin, but there's not really good solutions right now for doing so at the moment. There's a couple, they're just not very easy to use.
You want to go through some let's go through some things real quick. CoinDesk is reporting Zuckerberg's Meta is reportedly building a standalone prediction market app.
Yeah.
Called Arena.
Yep.
To compete with platforms like, Polymarket. Man, this sucks. I don't even know who this guy is, but ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller has arm amputated after a horrific car crash. Damn.
Damn.
The NBA draft is tonight, so
yeah.
Shout out to everybody hoping that they land a good prospect for their team. What else is out here? I seen it and I couldn't fucking. ELON is on a tear, by the way. Elon is on a tear right now.
Mm-hmm. He's talking a lot about USAID funding.
Yeah. I think that, that comment about the 4.5, that report from the New York Post, which was quoting Roe, saying that, him stating that, Elon is responsible for the deaths or could be responsible for the deaths of 4.5 million children. I think that bothered Elon. That touched a nerve.
Well, because it's false.
I know that, but like usually he's not like this.
Yeah, no, he
he
might actually sue him.
he can, but I don't know if he so like I don't think he has a good chance of doing anything by suing him, because it's not see, everybody has like the defamation.
Defamation,
Yeah, sorry.
slander, and libel.
But everybody has it all wrong,
Yeah, it's on the edge. I mean,
you have, like, I'm on social media all day, right? Do I not, air quote, get slandered?
you get libeled a lot.
But
Sometimes they go on their shows and slander.
you get both that take place, but what happens? Like, it is so hard. Like,
Yeah, no.
it's just in the U.S. court, you're just not going to win.
Yeah, it's expensive, and even if you get the desired outcome, you spend a ton of money to get it, and no real upside benefit.
Millions of dollars on trying to win.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at most cases, they go nowhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's because there's freedom of speech. The First Amendment is strong.
Yep.
So that's why social media is like so toxic, and a lot of people, they're surprised when they come into this space. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, for Michael Saylor, man, like, actually, like, I wanted to, we were joking today, but Michael Saylor, like, I hope he continues to buy, listen, you have the same opportunity that he does. And people will be like, what are you talking about? Like, you do. You have money, buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying. You have the same opportunity that he has in terms of buying Bitcoin. I know you guys will say, well, hold on, he's selling. It doesn't matter. And then figure out a way. You can't blame other people for you not being able to do something. Am I right? I mean, like, seriously, when are we going to take accountability for ourselves? Like, you want something, go get it.
Look, Michael Saylor has been a long-term net buyer of Bitcoin, and whatever happens with strategy in terms of their price action for strategy or stretch or anything else really has no effect on Bitcoin, as they are a net buyer. The massive effect on Bitcoin would become if they're a net seller, right? That would be, not great for price action. That's for sure. You'd see a lot of people celebrating in the streets, but of social media or on the timeline. But reality is that what is actually affecting Bitcoin and is the OGs, the miners, the crypto native exchanges, and the institutions that actively, are on the spot side doing redemptions, in terms of what we're seeing in downside price action and price leads. So until Michael Saylor actually is a net seller of Bitcoin, then I don't really understand. You can evaluate. You can't look at strategy and go, Bitcoin is down because of strategy. That's just that's a false equivalence, and it doesn't. It's stupid. It's a dumb thing to say, and it exposes that people don't really understand. Well, probably don't understand much of anything, but love riding the dick of the narrative.
Well, you have to understand, like, that's the problem that we have in crypto, is just that people are chasing engagement. So they're going to motherfucker the people that are actually trying to push the products that we want to see appreciate. The assets and the products. Like, that's what it is. So,
I I mean, I'm firmly in the camp of not your keys, not your coins. So like, I'm not into
I get that.
personally, me personally. It's a
But
personal thing. But there's a lot of people that want the vector for volatility, and they're getting
but
crushed
think
by
about
it.
it, Landy. There are a lot of people that will never get Bitcoin, physical Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're going to be in a product.
That's it. And
Yeah.
because they trust, even though their brokers misled them, right? Like, think about it. They could have been in Bitcoin very early, but they didn't go in because they were told that Bitcoin is due to, it's garbage. Like Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, people who help you invest into shit with telling you not to get into it. And now they're telling you to get into it. You could have got into it early. But these are the same people that they don't take it. They won't listen to this broadcast. No, they still listen to mainstream media,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they get their information. And you're never going to that. You're never going to get people that are used to doing things a certain way to all of a sudden drop that and come here and start writing down seed phrases. Like, it's just not going to happen. They're not going to play with their money. Like, they're not going to. They are absolutely not going to get their wallets drained. Like, these people are not. They're good. Let's go get that paper Bitcoin. That's it. That's the younger generation. Like, I consider us younger. Yeah, we're going to participate. We're gonna make sure we own our shit.
Yep.
We understand what that means. We're gonna own our shit. We gonna own our shit, Landy. Go to G Markets if you want to get some insight on what's happening in the markets. Man, look, I'm just looking at the map right now here. I mean, it looks like garbage, right? I mean, it looks like
Yeah.
ass. Like, let's pull for what it is. What's Bitcoin at right now? 62, 156.
I said
Why
yesterday.
rip the band-aid off? If you guys want 40,000, just rip the band-aid off already.
Well, watch coming into the dailies. If we start to drop the lows in the dailies, the mid 50s are absolutely in play. And if we drop the weeklies, low 50s in play. On Sunday, if we start closing below the lows, but for right now, it's just a range on the lows. So it's not really a big deal.
Do you think
But
it
if we
pops
do start
upwards
dropping,
this week? Might go up?
if I'm to look at, some of the lower term time frames, it's pretty beat up down here. It's pressured down below 62.5. So what you'd want to see is a recovery above 62.5 for it to kind of sit here in the range and maybe try for the upside again towards 65. But reality is, if we start dropping the lows on the daily and we meet the conditions of also dropping them on a weekly close, things are going to go down probably pretty quickly into the mid to low 50s initially. And then that's going to open up those, upper 40s to 50, 48 to 50K and potentially the mid 40s thereafter. But realistically, there's nothing doing right now. It's just a matter of watching to see if it meets the conditions of further downside. I will say it looks weaker below 62.5, but if it's recovered, then there's a legit shot to go back up and test 65 and maybe even higher. It's really, watching what's going on in markets. Like I said earlier in the show, one of the big things that you want to look at right now is oil with a strengthening dollar. Dixie going up is we're seeing a rotation out of risk. And if oil does head up while Dixie's strong, you're probably going to see a further rotation out of risk. What you want to see is you want to see a correction, oil remain low, and if Dixie's going to remain strong. And then, you hope that Dixie comes back down and gives a little bit of relief. And for longer term, like when looking at the actual economy, what you would prefer to see is oil remaining low and potentially lower, while Dixie remains strong, would give Warsh the latitude to make a case for a cut coming in towards the end of the year or early next year. But if we don't see that and we see oil and Dixie rising at the same time, and we see we're likely going to see things come down and correct pretty hard in traditional markets, rotation out of risk that will affect, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the majors.
Yeah.
So we're at the very beginning of summer, and we have to keep in mind that this is essentially the last full trading week of the quarter, the monthly, and the 6 months. So we're getting a lot of bigger players repositioning and setting up for the back half of the year.
I'm bullish. I think it happens fast. If I don't know, I feel like it might happen fast.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree. I mean, if Bitcoin, especially, and you can say vice versa for a lot of the other ETF focused majors. Yeah, we're right on the top side of the main liquidity zone post launch. Like what really drove those ETFs up. We're like right at the top side of that structure, and if we start digging down into it for Bitcoin in the 48 to 50 all the way up to $60,000, that's where we saw the fervor of orders come in for Bitcoin when the after spot ETFs launched, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, everybody looks at like 38.5 to 40 being the main area, but things didn't really start hitting hard until we got into, the 50 to $60,000 range that propelled us above to a brand new all-time high. So we're right in the pocket, right at the top side of the pocket here for that. And then you can look at the Ethereum chart and you can see kind of around where the ETFs were. So I could see a scenario in which we get a quick dip in there. And then try to recover this zone. But I'd be very aware of where the weeklies start to close. Because if we start to close under and he kind of pops back up into this area, would be resistance. Probably going to go for more of that liquidity, the original bid zone that we saw for the spot ETFs, and maybe fill it out with some more downside. And it's just kind of wait and see now. It's not much to do in this area. It's below 62.5, not looking great, but if it can recover, that's what I'd be looking for the rest of this week. Can it recover 62.5 and start pushing back towards 65? If it can't, we're going to test the lows and possibly lower.
Well, God bless America.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, Landy, for coming on here. And I will be on Craig O's show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I don't do many podcasts at all, but I remember when I was trying to get people onto my show, and even with the platform that I had, people were saying no. So I was like, you know what? And I also like going on podcasts where I want to say his podcast is small or anything like that, because I don't want to. I'm not taking a shot or anything like that. I'm just saying I like the smaller venue type of channels to chop it up and just talk shop. So yeah. I'll be on there. I'll be on there tonight. I'm sure he'll hit me with questions. I'm scared. I hate going and I hate talking about myself in general. So I'll do it here. Just I'm just fucking around. Actually, I'm not sometimes, but yeah. But there you go. Tune into if you didn't see it, tune into Landy's show. It's up there. He did it yesterday, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It went live, and you can go ahead and tune in to see if Landy is going to be right or wrong with his horoscopes. Okay? You can check it out.
Friday actually this is an announcement. Friday, we're going to be taking and doing palm readings. So if just go ahead and send a picture of your palm of your hand, nothing else. Thank you. And then we'll determine the future for you personally, in addition to looking at squiggling lines on charts and eating crayons.
Yep. So on that note, I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, Landy. Thank you, everybody who tuned in from wherever. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Breakdown, episode 733. Shout out to the sponsors. Midnight, of course, the main title sponsor. Shout out to them. Midnight City. I got to go see if If my agent is still sleeping, because it seems like my agent just sleeps. Also, shout out to Cake Wallet, Polymarket, and Quad Network. And on that note, we're out.